Yes, guys, you know what time it is. It's your boy David at the Irish Hotspur, Ireland's #1 Spurs fan, bringing you the Irish Hotspur view with my man Jack Kineke with bobspur, and today replacing Danny we have Matty Hayes. We already have 68 people tuning in. Make sure you smash that like, make sure you smash that subscribe button, and don't be afraid to get your super chats in with your thoughts, your opinions, whether you're happy with Conte or not, whether you think he can get Kane to stay, whether you think he'll have money to spend, whatever it is, don't be afraid to let us know. Also, first of all, Jack, how are you, man?
Not bad, David. You know, I'm looking forward to another Jackass, David. You know, it's kind of like a similar evening to last week, but hopefully maybe something will actually come through this time, and hopefully the questions won't all be for nothing like last time.
No, 100%. Look, to be honest with you, Ali Gold's kind of last kind of tweet there kind of makes me think it's happening 100%. But Bob, how are you keeping, man?
Hi.
Not very happy. Well, we'll get in and share Bob's thoughts in a few minutes.
Matt knows how I feel about Poch. I think all of you guys know how I feel about Poch. I got carried away with the effing train. I was on that train. I was a effing conductor. I was collecting all the tickets, and I've been told there's no fucking train. So, no.
I think of Maria Williams super chat every day.
Yeah.
Huh?
Maria Williams, I think of her super chat on our last show every day.
Yeah,
she brought us back down to
100%.
earth, and now she put egg all over her face. Really,
it's just a downer. After Poch, anything was going to be a downer. But glad to be on here, mate. Have a bit of therapy.
No, it's good to have you, my man. Like these shows, they don't work without you, Bob. That's why we asked you on to be a panel member every week. And my man Matty off a very successful stream. Matty, how are you keeping, man?
The screensaver's been changed. It's been changed. It's Antonio Conte. I'm heartbroken it's not Patch. I'm not going to lie. I'm heartbroken it's not Patch, but head over heart, Conte and Paratici are going to bring this club places. Delighted on my stream. Delighted to be on here with you, David, with Jack and with Bobby. I'm looking forward to a good discussion.
Nah, same here. Jack always comes with the good questions. Don't worry about that. Let's welcome a few people to the stream. We have Scott Cranford here. Big up, Scott. He was in nice and early today. We have a Gamer Pro in the building. Big up, Gamer Pro. We have Carl Simpson. Big up, Carl Simpson. I hope you're keeping well. He says, enjoy, guys. I hope you are well. If it comes to let's go, Red Inter. Yeah, 100%. RN, I love Conte because he is ruthless on players who don't perform to his standards. No disrespect to Poch, but if Poch took over, Poch would see Dele and Wink starting for us, but with Conte, not likely. That's a fair comment. Big up, Philip Brady. Remember last night's great show, teaching me a bit of history as well. Philip Brady says, looks like Levy has been outsmarted by PSG, so it's not Poch then. Conte is the best option left, albeit I don't think it will be long before he has a disagreement with Levy. Yeah, 100%. Big up, John Fitzpatrick. I hope you're keeping well, representing the Irish out in Australia, my man. We have Priyash Rao. He says Matt Hayes raid. Yeah, big up Matty for dropping the link and all. Big up Matt Hayes, I have to say. You already have 157 people watching. It's insane. Mr. K, hi y'all. Come on, you Spurs. Harris Army. Big up Mr. K. Jason Fox, let's go. Harris, show for another great show. Thank you, my man. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm not going to get bet into that one, but I can see that one coming from a mile away. I'm too quick for you guys. Don't worry about that. Leon Powell, big up Leon Powell, by the way. Big up Sunil Nado. Big up Lionel Messi. Messi, I say it to you every time, Ronaldo's the GOAT. Chris, big up Chris. We have Kubos, Van der Merv. We have Tommy G. We have, who else have we got? We've got Giulio Iriarte. We have Frogan Flugelbinder. I made a good attempt on that, to be fair. Yeah, Jack, actually, you should be able to read that name. What's that name?
Flugelbinder. I don't think that's a German word, but yeah, I think that's Flugelbinder.
It's close enough to a German word.
Yeah, it sounds like one.
Big up, Farah. Big up the Yid Kid as well. Who else have we got here? Jez, we're absolutely loaded with the Matt Hayes army. Look at this. They're all over it. Big everybody up. Big yous all up. Yous are insane. Jez, the power of the Matt army. About time, Matt, you start flexing them muscles. I was waiting to see how long it'd take you, my man.
You should have asked me.
And big up Jordan Stevens. He says, sorry, Jack, this is your part, man.
No problem, David. Big up Jordan Stevens, always in with the first super chat. He likes to take the first blood on the super chats. He's a nice, generous man. Big up Jordan. He says, Levy really sticking his neck on the line. This will be a similar appointment to Mourinho, but he really has to make it work. If he does, I'm excited. Yeah, that's a good point, Jordan. I think, that's actually not maybe been said, is in a way how it's similar to Mourinho is, we're getting a proven winner, but at the end of the day, you got to back a proven winner. You just got to say, whatever it takes to get him over the line, because he will get it over the line, and hopefully it'll be different this time. You're absolutely right, Jordan.
100%, and big up Jordan Stevens for the super chat. I really do appreciate it, man. But look, we'll welcome a few more people in, and then we'll get straight into it. I know Matt and Bob are reaching for a few questions there. But big up. I just had a drink gone down the wrong way. Big up Jordan Stevens. Really appreciate the super chat, my man. Big up Joe Grimes, he's in the building. Big up James Killeen. Big up Matt Craven. Big up Simon Coney, Spurs Story. Everybody get out and check it out. Uploaded today. Archie Paget, he says, yes, lads, The Purge. We have Ian Nicholson. We have, I'd say that's fake. But Lee Gunner, anyway, Conte plays more attacking football than Jose David. He is the modern day Jose. Siriu, we have Alexander. So big up everybody. Aglaya Kakaras is in the building. Big up Aglaya, Michael Bennett. I hope everybody's keeping well. I hope everyone's having a great night. But look, let's get into it. The stream is climbing insanely. There is 195 people watching right now. So make sure you have smashed that like. If you're new, smash the subscribe. The big push for 3K is on. And also, don't be afraid to get your super chats in. When the chat does heat up and it gets so busy, uncontrollable, super chats is the way it goes. Guarantees, your comment gets read out. And plus, it's a great way to show support to the channel and a few of questions you want to ask from the panel. But Jack, look, let's get into it. Let's get.
Big up to Kieran.
He says, I'm Ireland's number one. But look, that's a quiz for another day. But Jack, let's start asking a few questions, man. 200 people sitting here watching and waiting. Let's go.
Yeah, they're absolutely waiting for us. All right, we're going to usually, I like to start off a little heavy, David, but this time, hopefully I'm starting off light. But I'm just going to ask, does tonight or today, does it ring any similar to maybe the last evening where we thought Pochettino was coming over the line? We thought he was going to be appointed. Do you think this time it's a little different? Is it really going to be the case? Is Conte coming? Is he coming? Is the Italian stallion? Is he really passed?
I fully believe this one. Look, I don't know if anyone saw Frenemies a while ago. I put Conte's name out there. He was my number one choice for the job. But when Pochettino was coming, I was full on the train. I was full on for it coming back. Hasn't happened. Look, me, when I first seen the Conte rumours, I'll be honest with you, I thought maybe it was a part of PSG want Pochettino to come out and say he wants to leave PSG. Pochettino won't do that because he's a door down. He doesn't want to break club relations. And, Daniel Levy obviously doesn't want to pay the money that it requires to be able to get him from Poch. So I think maybe it's a case of PSG trying to flex their muscles. And it's worked. Because now I'm all in on Conte. And looking at Alistair Gold's latest tweet, for me, it looks like it's happening. He seems dead sure. I don't think he would have tweeted what he said if he wasn't 100% sure either. But with Conte coming, look, for me, he has to. He's not coming here unless he's assured money. Let's make that clear. For me, 100%, I don't think he's coming here unless he's assured spending money. He's not that sort of manager that will go in and put his reputation on the line at a club if he's not given what he wants. In fact, you see with Inter, he's not letting them go into ruin his reputation. He's pulling it. He left. He walked. So for me, you can't question the man. He's won trophies. He's won a lot of trophies. He's just off the back of winning the Serie A with Inter Milan. And look, we also have to remember, we're in the Conference League. We're still a big club, but we're in the Conference League. And for us to be able to pull a manager like that out the bag, absolutely A1. It's brilliant in my opinion. I'm a big fan of Conte. And plus, I like his antics on the sideline. He doesn't let anyone away with anything lazy. He's on the sideline. He's constantly telling his players what to do, constantly demanding more of them. And he has no problem shithousing either. So I like that, That's what I want to see in my manager, 100%. 100% I do. I'm happy with it. I'm happy. Look, with Pochettino and Conte, I don't care who comes in. I just want one of them. It's better than Harry Potter. It's better than Scotty Starstruck. It's better than some of the other names that were mentioned. So I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it. Matty, what do you think?
Well, I was definitely on that Poch train last week. I don't think I can deny that. I think there's enough content out there to show that I was all aboard. And I paid my fee, as Bobby will tell you. I think the difference between tonight and last Thursday night is Fabrizio Romano. And like anyone who follows me on Twitter will know I was on a quest to get Romano to tweet about Pochettino. It lasted 3 days, and then he tweeted saying, "Yeah, it's probably not going to happen." But look, Romano's all in it. He said Conte advanced talks, Paratici offers been made. He'll make his decision. And another key thing is that there are no reports coming out and saying, "Well, this isn't true." Whereas with every report we saw on Pochettino, there was one 5 minutes later who said, "That's probably not true." So everyone's aboard this one. Everyone's going for it. Everyone thinks it's going to happen. And when Alistair Gold is saying it's likely, when Romano is saying this, when it's going to happen, it's only a matter of time now. Sky Italia were saying there's a €3 million discrepancy in the wages. They won't let that get in the way of this. As Paddy Hartnett there said in the live chat, Paul O'Keefe on Twitter has been saying Levy has big plans. Where the money will come from, we don't know. But for Conte to come in, he has to have been assured we'll hold on to our big players, i.e. Harry Kane, and he'll have to have been assured that he's getting money for the market, because we're bringing in Paratici and we're not going to give him the same problems that he's just left Inter Milan for, because you can bet your bottom dollar that if Kane goes, if he's not getting money, Conte will walk before the season starts and he won't think twice about it. He'll be out that door. He's been given these assurances and he's going to be the next manager of Spurs. I put out a prediction last Wednesday that Conte would be the next manager of Spurs. Now, I went back on that like 4 times over the weekend as Poch looked likely, but I'm taking full credit for that. I said it'd be Conte, and no one could tell me I was wrong.
No, 100%. Just quickly, we have 2 super chats here, and then we'll get Bob's thoughts. I know Bob's a bit on the board with this one, so be interesting to hear what you have to say. But go on, Jack. Go with the super chats, man.
Yeah, absolutely. We got a super chat from Paul Markey. He's a big super chatter for the Irish. I see him a lot for Matt Hayes' channel, and he's always supporting David as well. So big yourself up, Paul Markey.
Yeah, Paul's a legend.
You're all buying into Conte and Levy and has stuffed the club and supporters again. You're all buying into Conte. Levy has stuffed the club and supporters again. He's not right for Spurs. Mark my words. Right. Maybe you're right, Paul. But with the case of Conte, I think he's maybe the right man for just some of these players. At least, I think you can't take that away from him. He's going to absolutely light a fire under some of these players' asses. And I mean, I got to say, like, he can actually make pretty good out of certain players, especially in those fullback positions. He can maybe make pretty good out of Sergio Reguilon and the likes. And maybe I dare say it. Maybe Matt Doherty might not be a bad backup right back under the Conte system, but all I gotta say is I do think he could turn a lot of these players around, at least attitude wise and fitness wise. But I don't want to. Yeah, whoever else wants to.
Yeah, I just want to say something there quickly. First of all, big up Paul Markey, so generous. I really do appreciate my man. Look, for me, I think it's important this time round. Look, I've always said it doesn't matter who comes in charge. I've always maintained that we have to try and get the best man for the job. But this time round, I think it's very important. Whoever comes in, the whole fan base gets behind them. Because after this, if it's not done right, it's Levy's fault. The problem is Levy. So we all have to back this manager no matter what, and send a message out to Levy that you can't keep bringing in managers and not backing them and hiring them and firing them, because I'll be honest with you, lads, I genuinely think this is our last shot at a big manager. We don't get this right, mark my words, and I'm saying it right now, we're in big, big trouble after this. We're going where Arsenal went with the likes of Arteta, managers like that, where we're going to try and get someone in and hopefully it works. So for me, I just think it's important we get behind the manager, whether you want him in or not. I think in the bigger picture, it's important we get the support behind the manager, because if we don't and we go against the manager, it's just, in effect, it's kind of giving Levy what he wants, really. Big up Paul Markey. We'll get to the other 2 there, and then Bob's being so patient, so we'll get through the next one quickly, and then we have a couple more to get to quickly.
Yeah, absolutely, David.
That's flying in.
Carlos Blanco. Yeah, absolutely. Big up Carlos Blanco with the super chat. He says, Conte will scare Indom Burgers and co. I mean, he definitely will put Indom Burgers into shape. He'll show him a different route than the burger store or the burger shop. He might give him a nice lean pasta, some vegetables, a bit of some tomatoes in there. So, yeah, I absolutely see him putting these players absolutely back into the right shape they need to be.
Yeah. No, 100%. Look, we're going to get into that. I'm sure we'll be talking about, what players and stuff like that with Conte.
But we got a big one very generous one from Rohan Aurora. Conte will have a big cleanup of Deadwood and not afraid to tell everyone how bad the club is run. Better than 100 fan protests. Poch can make his sweet return to a clean house a season or 2 probably later on. I mean, big up Rohan. I mean, very generous super chat, by the way, Rohan. So big up. But I mean, maybe you're right. I think Conte, I kind of said this. I think I even asked Matt this on one of his live streams. Maybe it's the right now that, maybe Conte is the right answer for right now. This is the only opportunity maybe to get him. And then maybe later down the road, when he maybe can stabilize this club, we can maybe look at bringing back maybe our Alex Ferguson, which is Pochettino. So a big up, Rowan, for the super chat.
Big up, Rowan. I really do appreciate it, man. Such a generous donation. And look, I agree with you. Look, if he's not the man to clear the deadwood, he's definitely the man to scare the deadwood. One player just quickly, Harry Winks pulling out challengers. Conte will not put up with that. He will not put up with that. Well, big up, Rowan, Aurora, Matt and Bob are playing peekaboo. And then, we'll get to the next one, and then we'll let Bob have his say, and then we've one more to get to after that.
Yeah, Michael David Zalecki with the super chat here. Very generous super chat, Michael, so big yourself up. He says, the back three always excites and scares me. If Conte can make it work while emphasizing attack, I'm ready for the ride. Could be good for Reggie. Need 3 strong ball-playing center backs, other wing backs. I mean, Michael, you're. It's almost like you're inside my brain right now, so I'm loving this super chat. I mean, with Conte, yeah, absolutely. He needs very strong center backs. They're not only no-nonsense defenders, but they need to be very skilled at developing the play and be very technically sound. I have plenty of center backs in mind, but you also nailed it with him maybe being able to get the most out of Reggie and also being able to improve kind of our wing backs. So you're absolutely right. Love that super chat, Michael. Yeah,
what a legend, Michael. David, great name, by the way, as well, I have to say, great name. My name's David too. Look, me personally, I'm not sure how if I'm going to enjoy watching the fullback system, but I just know I'm strapped in 100% ready for this Conte ride. I've done it for Mourinho, I've done it for Poch, and I'm going to do the same. And you best believe I'm going to believe even more this season. We can definitely pull something out of the bag. So big up, Michael. I really appreciate that. And then just quickly, William McKenzie. He says, big up, David. Big up, William. I really do appreciate it.
Big up, William.
So generous. 325 people. Make sure the likes. Make sure the likes add up. It's very important that you smash that like button. And if you're new, smash the subscribe. The big push for 3K. Big up to all the super chatters. So generous. But look, it's time to let Bob in. I feel so bad, but Bob, just you've gone for Mourinho. Look, I can understand it, right? I can understand why you didn't want Mourinho. How do you feel about Conte coming in? Because he's the same sort of manager in a way, in terms of being harsh on players and stuff like that. How do you feel about Conte in general, anyway?
Listen, first of all, I'm not anti-Conte. In fact, I'm gonna put it out there as well. I said Conte, mate, about a month or so ago, if not longer. I've always, but I think for me, and it probably heart over head, just like Matt, Poch was the one for me. I got on the train, I was riding that train hard, and for me, the thought of Poch coming back was just amazing. So anyone from there was going to be a downer anyway. The only thing that worries me about Conte is, Conte, match winner, big game winner, winning trophies left, right, and centre, telling players how it is, getting rid of Deadwood, and putting his stamp, putting his authority across. All these things are exactly what we said about Mourinho. So for me, and I said this right from day one, and Dave, you'll back me up on this.
Yeah.
There's no point of being any manager in unless they're backed, and that's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping with Conte. Absolutely over the moon. Not as much as over the moon as what I'd be with Poch, but absolutely over the moon with Conte. But I just hope, and I suppose with the sporting director coming in, Paratici coming in, allegedly, that kind of shows the ambition. And I've always said I want to see ambition and a direction from the board.
Yeah.
And by appointing. In fact, for me, the appointment of the sporting director is a bit more prominent than Conte. That actually shows me a bit of direction. So for me, bring Conte in, but back him. Now we say back him. Apparently, his biggest ever signing is Lukaku, which surprised me. When you think back his Chelsea days, which big, massive signing did he really make that broke all records and stuff? I don't think there was anyone.
He actually made the most of what he had.
Exactly, and Lukaku's been his biggest ever signing, so that could work in our favour. But thing is, he does bring in quality. So massively disappointed. It's not Poch, but for me, second one in line was always going to be Conte. Conte was my first choice for a while. Obviously, Poch kind of put everyone to one side. But yeah, for me, it's all about we're bigging him up exactly with the words we used for Mourinho. We just hope the outcome and the backing is completely different than what we had from Mourinho, because Conte's got it all, mate. He's like Jose, you're absolutely right, but he's younger and he's a bit more forward thinking. He's a bit more younger thinking than Jose, and the man management will obviously come into it as well. And his newer version of man management could hold us in good stead. And another comment which you had earlier, he won't. Poch could have potentially given, let's give Winks another season. Let's give Dele Alli another season. Let's see. I don't think Conte's going to have that in him. I hope.
Yeah.
Beautifully and eloquently said, Bob. Absolutely. I absolutely agree. We got a super chat from Dan N. Big yourself up, Dan N. He says, could Conte bring Skriniar or De Vrij with him? I would rather he bring Skriniar with him. What I will say, Dan, is that this definitely makes it more likely that we could sign Skriniar for this, upcoming transfer window. I just didn't even see us having any chance of signing him at all. I have no idea why he would come to us, but similar to, or now that we have Conte, I mean, there's a solid chance if Skriniar really likes to continue to work with him, then absolutely we have a very solid chance. So big yourself up, Dan N. And then we have one from Rohan again. Big yourself up, Rohan. Very generous today. He says, be honest, if you was Conte, would you go to Spurs? No, David, I can't answer this one.
We're a massive club.
Truthfully, I can't answer this one truthfully.
Look, I'll be honest. Look, me with it as a Spurs fan, of course I'd say I'd always go to Tottenham. Even if Tottenham were in Division 2 when I was playing at a Premier League club, I'd always go to Tottenham. But look, realistically, should he come to Tottenham? I'd say no, because everyone knows what Levy's like. But look, Conte's a smart guy. He's not coming to Tottenham unless he has them assurances, and it's as simple as that. But big up, guys, for the super chats. Really do appreciate it. You're all legends. And let's welcome the sis as well, Fiona Harris, the sister. Big up. She says #Harris Army. I hope that niece of mine is doing well, and I hope Dave's ankle is ready for football on Friday. No excuses this week. And Kieran, let's talk Spurs. Big up, Kieran. Hope you're keeping well. And I just want to say actually a massive thank you to Matt for doing back-to-back streams. I really do appreciate it. What a legend. No
worries at all.
Thumbnail.
But Jack, let's go away with the next question.
Big up to that guy in the bottom left corner. I forgot his name. I just met him for the thumbnail. But here we go. So, I mean, I feel like there could be a bunch of different answers for this one. But with the appointment of Conte, does this tell you anything different? Or do you have any new revelations about Levy? Does this give you any insight or any new direction, maybe with the board that you didn't think before? Do you have any new kind of just insight maybe on the board / Levy?
On the point of direction with regards to the board, there's a word there behind me that is a good place for them to go, and it's out. a lot of what's happened over the last week or so, to some extent, is to appease the fans. But see, it's so hard to gauge, because exactly all the praise that I want to give the board now is the praise that I wanted to give them 19 months ago when Jose Mourinho was appointed. It's the exact same sort of appointment. It's the exact same position. We're feeling, we're going to invest. We're going to win trophies. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. It's the exact same that we said 19 months ago. Now, the difference is Antonio Conte in 2021 is a better manager than Jose Mourinho in 2019. And I doubt there'll be many people out there that can deny that. But Levy has done this to us too much in the past, where he's given us these assurances and he's given us this hope and completely ripped it apart and ruined it. He's done that too many times in the past for us to, with just the hope, praise him for it. Because there's still the potential.
It is a Levy factor, isn't it, Matt? Anyone else, if it was any other board, any other club, and the rumours of Conte going, it'd be 100% he's coming now. But for us, don't you think it is a Levy factor that's making us think, is it maybe, I don't know, but I'm not sure. Or, that's the only reason we're doubting.
I agree with that. I agree with that. Look, you look at some of the other clubs that are looking for managers. Real Madrid got rid of Zidane, kept Stump, brought in Carlo Ancelotti. That's how you do it. That's how you do your business. Nice and swift. Not 44, 45 days later sitting there with no manager. It's an absolute disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace, so it is.
We got a super chat from Aglaya Kakaratas. Big yourself up, Aglaya. Always good to see you on these streams. Huge supporter of all the channels, so big yourself up, Aglaya. Conte will whip Ndombele. Conte will whip Ndombele into shape. No more Ndom burgers. Nickname, it will be Ndombea pasta.
Bella Pasta. It's a chain of Italian restaurants in the UK.
Look, I hope so. I hope it is Ndombele pasta and not Ndom stand beside David in the McDonald's line when he's getting a Big Mac meal, because that's what it is at the minute. Look, at the end of the day, the guy has great potential. I can't stress this enough. The guy has super potential, but honestly, he just needs to get fit. Like, you know, and the reason why I got on his back so much is because he's literally paid to be fit, and that should be the minimum requirement, is paid to be fit. That's it. But big up Aglaya Kakaratas. I really do appreciate the super chat.
Big up,
we've two more to get to there.
Yeah, but big up Aglaya. I would say, you know, like when it comes to pasta, you know, pasta, it's a bit more saucy than a burger, and we know that Ndom Baller loves to be a bit more saucy, and so if he can move on to a pasta version type of game, I think that'll improve him enormously. So you're absolutely right, Aglaya.
Tin Man
007. Just don't trust Levy as didn't Jose have some assurances when he arrived? He never really got back, so I can't trust the man. I mean, Tim, man, this is one of those like Maria's where maybe it's bringing us back down to earth. It's bringing us back down to reality. We can't forget that Levy is the con man of the century. He is the liar. And
can I differentiate the two though?
Yeah.
With Mourinho, he was looking to, get his reputation back. With Conte, he ain't come to Tottenham risking his reputation like that unless there's assurances. With Mourinho, there was always going to be a bit of give and take because Mourinho needed a job. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think Mourinho was given that many insurances. Remember, one of his first press conferences, he said, I know there's a different way of doing things here. I know we won't have the financial backing this club. A 10 out of 10 for the transfers that we've done, and this is, I know that we've gone beyond our means and stuff like that. So I think he was given, he was told how much money he'd have. I honestly think it was a case of Levy thinking, if Poch can overachieve, why can't Jose? But exactly, I think with Jose we were probably 8 years too late.
Yeah, absolutely. Big up 10 man, by the way. So big yourself up.
Legend.
Paul Markey yet again. Paul Markey yet again. He says, "All right, I'll go first." Paul Markey yet again. He says, "Will Conte will Conte last? If not, why a point?" Then he does. I think his tenure length is on average something like 1.5 seasons, 2 seasons. I mean, yeah, it is a little skeptical to think that he would last more than 2 seasons. But then again, with Spurs, they're not as great of expectations, and if he gets the right backing, and with Spurs, we do pay our managers very well, if not overpay them. And so maybe there's also some potential there that, he could see us as maybe a much more of a long-term kind of club, just simply that we also just pay him quite well.
Yeah.
Can I speak a point that I saw in... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, Matt.
No, I was just going to say, Matt, we want him to start, don't we, Matt? We want him to come in and start a winning mentality, which Jose quite clearly failed to do. If he can get 1-2 trophies in the 2 seasons, he's going to be here. And even if both of them are just cups, but to take us progress in the league, like I keep on saying, we're 4 steps away. Whereas under Poch, we're 1 step away from challenging for the Premier League. We're currently 4 steps away, in my eyes, from challenging for the Premier League. If Conte can bring us up to challenging for that Premier League and get a couple of trophies and then go, he'll do his job as far as I'm concerned. He's put that mentality in there, and then we can, hopefully build on that. Levy and Enoch can see the money rolling in, because a successful team on the pitch will reflect that revenue-wise. And then hopefully it'll be the start of something. But if all he does in the first 2 years is progress in the league and win a couple of cups, I'm absolutely happy with that.
Absolutely.
100%. Sorry, we'll just let Matty, and Matty had something to say there quickly.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, Matt.
Yeah, I was going to say the point that Sander made there in the live chat. People are always talking about Pochettino's contract being the reason we're not going for him now. Conte's a 2-year manager. Whose contract is up in 2 years? like you said, Jack, it could be a case of, Conte is now or never, whereas Pochettino could be any point in the future. This could be, I don't want to say a stepping stone for Spurs because it's very disrespectful to Conte and what he's achieved. And it's also not the case because stepping stones don't usually propel you as much as Antonio Conte could do for Spurs. But it's the middle ground between Mourinho and bringing back Poch, maybe having a different, rather than Poch, Mourinho, Poch, having something else to add to the team, have a little more, something about it before we do bring Poch back. Because as much as we want him back, we want him, I suppose it makes sense that we want him to be the one to bring us from top 4 to top 1 rather than bringing us from top 7 back to top 4 and then that extra step as well. Because maybe a Poch project is a sort of one-step thing where he brought us from where we were to being a Champions League team. Maybe he's not that man to make progressive consecutive steps. I don't know. It's just a thought, but I do think I'll say I've said it since the second Pochettino left the club, and I'll continue to say it now as we look to the point Conte. Pochettino will manage Spurs again.
I completely agree.
Just quickly, I was actually only thinking about this before I came on. I'm just a bit worried that if it is the case that PSG were forcing Pochettino to come out and speak, and I'm just worried that maybe he might hold a bit of bitterness to Daniel Levy for putting him in that situation. That's just my only thoughts on it. That might have damaged that reputation a little. But well, look, only time will tell. Time will tell.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's also a fair point too, David. But Rohan Aurora yet again with the super chat. He says Ndombele. I mean, in his moments, absolutely Ndombele. In the 10 role, an absolute Ndombele. And then Jordan Stevens here. Remember how much Jose praised the crap squad he inherited at Spurs? Eden Hazard, or I hazard a guess that was because he knew he wasn't getting a lot of dosh.
Yeah, 100%. I'd agree with that, Jordan. Look, like I said, with Mourinho, I don't think he was coming in with the insurances that everyone thought he was coming in with, because at the end of the day, he was looking for a big job to try and repair his reputation. So he would have took any sort of big club at that stage, to be honest with you. But big up, Jordan, 100%. I fully agree with you, my man. I fully agree with you. But Jack, look, let's get out the next question, man.
Let's get out the next question, absolutely. What do you see, or who do you see in particular, any player in mind do you see prospering under Conte's tactics and maybe the mentality as well? Like what type of player do you see either that needs to be rescued under Conte or that, just could maybe become, an absolute world beater under Conte? Maybe with Bob, I feel like Bob is, hasn't had as many opportunities to talk. Yeah.
I mean, for me, if he does what he normally does, plays 3 at the back with the right players and the right backing, we managed to strengthen that back line, then I think we'll probably see a bit more from the midfielders. We've had a super chat there saying Ndombele, and I've gone on. I think I've said it on this stream. Ndombele, and I've said it out there. Ndombele has the ability and the prospect to become the best midfielder in the world. He's got everything about him. He can be the best midfielder. I mean, look, everyone looks at Pogba as one of the best midfielders in the world. I believe he can be better than Pogba. I believe he can be better than Pogba. So for me, Ndombele, if he gets his act together and Conte can get the best out of him, he can. In my eyes, can become one of the best midfielders in the world.
I think that's a good shout.
Yeah, and it's fast to say, he can bring out a good wing back out of, average players. You look under Moses, was it Moses? Yeah, Victor Moses. Then hopefully, Doherty could be at the forefront of being saved, especially for playing 3 at the back and going back into a Wolves role. So for me, Doherty and then Ndombele, I really hope Ndombele just breaks out and shows what season he
absolutely. Let me transition. I think that's a great point. Let me transition that to kind of Matt here. I mean, Matt, I did a little bit of research. I know that Conte was actually coaching Pogba during that kind of like prime Pogba era at Juventus when they did the kind of the midfield trio of Marchisio, Pirlo, and Pogba. Do you see Tanguy being able to play almost that maybe Pogba role of that years past at Juventus? Do you think Conte could get the most out of Ndombele?
I think the question with Ndombele, and it's not his name, Ndombele, it's never about the manager that's in charge. It's about him, and it's about his mentality and his basically how much he wants it. Because I feel like maybe Dele Alli is a similar player to him in that he has the talent, he has that kind of bit of fire about him, but he just doesn't have the motivation or the attitude, which is really baffling to see when you when you see the quality of player that they have. But look, it is a very good point that Conte did bring Pogba up like that. I'd say, look, a big part for Pogba was, playing in the best team in Italy, playing alongside absolute legends in Andrea Pirlo and Claudio Marchisio. I mean, that obviously helps. To some extent, you can see the kind of similarities between the style of the midfield. If it is going to be a 3-5-2 at Spurs, Marchisio will be that anchor. You could have that in Højbjerg at Spurs. In Marchisio, the kind of ball-playing midfielder. Could it be Lo Celso? Could it be another player we may bring in? And then Ndombele being the Pogba, kind of that flair player who can bang one in from 35 yards, or we do a couple of roulettes past whoever. There are definitely similarities there. And there's potential for that to happen. But I'd question Ndombele more than I'd question whichever manager is going to be there. And that for any player is a big concern. Again, I bring it back to Dele Alli, but look, Ndombele, he has the talent. He definitely has the talent, so I wouldn't rule it out.
It's potential, isn't it, Matt? It's definitely got the potential there. But like you say, 100%, it's down to, there's only so much Conte can do. It's down to himself as well. Exactly. 100%, mate. 100%, Matt.
The thing is, if Conte comes in and he's still not fit, it's all on Ndombele. That's Pochettino. He was here under Pochettino. He was here under Jose, and it'll be Conte. That'll be 3 managers. I don't want to hear anyone making any more excuses for him after that, because then you're going down the same way as you do for Winks and other players like that. Because 3 managers, the guy's not fit. We can't just keep blaming managers for everything that's going on at this club. There comes a point in it where he's being paid more than enough money to get on the treadmill and be fit and make sure he's match fit, do extra in training to get fit. So it's all on him. It's all on him. And this is the thing. And I've always said this. I preach this to Matt all the time. The top players in the world have it up here. They have it up here. They have the mentality, the drive, the desire to get better, to be the best. And that's what it's about. And then, the thing is, right, he's a bit like me, and I'll be honest, he's a bit like me in a way, right? I was growing up, I had all the talent, man. I was in academies, I was in everything else. But I just love chippers, man. I just love chippers, like, you know what I mean? And, as you get older, the more it affects you. My mom always said to me, because I was always snacking, my mom always said to me, you want to watch that? You know what I mean? Because if you ever stop playing football, it'll catch up on you. What are you talking about, man? You know what I mean? It's fighting into a cheese cracker. It's caught up on me. It's caught up on me. And and Ndombele, he needs to cop on. He needs to cop on because he's so good, man. He's so good. He can be so good. This is the thing. And this is probably why I go hard on him. People may say it's a bit hard, but I don't care. I'm just sick of players not performing at Tottenham Hotspur. It's become a pattern. They come to the club and they just do what they want. Hopefully Conte will come in, bang a few heads together, and believe me, he won't let them away with it. Conte will probably send him to train with the under-8s on Sunday morning, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's why we're frustrated. That's why we're frustrated, aren't we, Dave? Because we can see the potential. We're pretty. I like to think we're a pretty intelligent bunch, Spurs players, and when we can see a bit of talent, we'll know, and we can see the potential there with Ndombele. So that's what's frustrating the most, and let's just hope Conte can take him the extra and change that mentality, give that mentality shift for him to go that extra step. Because a couple of extra steps for Ndombele, mate. I keep on saying it. He has the potential to be the best midfielder in the world, hands down. Absolutely. I'll put my neck on it.
I think you all raised really good points. Really good points.
Before we do make a couple of super chats, just to add to that question, Matt Doherty's another one. Look, I berated him this year, rightly so. I didn't pay 15 million for one performance against Leicester City at the end of this season. Right? Now I understand right wing back to right back. It's a difficult let's be honest, it's not a difficult transition to make. It's more or less same position. You know what I mean? Let's be fair. More or less same duties, just a small bit different. You have that extra centre back to cover you. But with a new manager coming in, it could even give Doherty a fresh head. He might forget about what's going on this season and come out around to go next season. If we get the Mark Doherty we've seen at Wolves, we're on to a winner. If Conte can't do it, then it's just another sign of more money wasted.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you guys all raised really good points about Ndombele. I mean, with Matt saying like it's more up to him than it really is up to Conte to get him to show up and get him to be fit and be the player that he needs to be. And also, like you, Bob, and David were saying, it's really frustrating to see someone with that much talent really not work for it. When you are blessed with that much talent, it is frustrating to see people waste it. But we got a super chat from Jordan Stevens. He said Winks will be ball boy under Conte. I mean, Jordan. I mean, honestly, I don't even know if he's good enough to handle a football. I don't know if he's good enough to handle football anymore. I think, got to make him in charge of the smoothies, the Gatorade, the water boy, kind of really the water boy, so to speak. I think Winks to be really quick on his feet and delivering the water bottles with the trainers. And then we got one.
Just on that. just on that, I cannot wait. This is one of the things I'm most excitedly looking forward to Conte coming in. Because honestly, he's just going to come in, hang Winks on a peg in the locker room and walk out and say, this is, you do this in a match anyway, so you may as well just stay here for training and everything else. I cannot wait. He's going to eat Harry Winks alive. In fact, what he's going to do is, he's going to have him on the bench, and just before halftime, he's going to say, go in there and peel a few oranges for the boys, will you? You know what I mean? Hand out some oranges at halftime. That's what he's going to use Winks for. He's going to be water boy, he's going to be cone boy, he's going to be ball boy. He's getting triple the shifts, but no football, and that's the way it should be. Harry stinks. Get the fuck out of my club. I'm sick of you. I've actually had enough of this guy. I don't care. I've been saying it for the last 6 to 8 months. And until he's gone, I will not rest. I do not sleep properly at night, knowing that there's potential this guy can start in my 11. You know what I mean? I can't sleep right. Every night before a match, I cannot sleep right knowing there's potential in him, visioning him, pulling out of challenges, not being able to pass a football. So I can't wait. This is actually going to be blockbuster. This should be a Hollywood movie. This should be the new AJ v Fury, Conte v Winks. I cannot wait. This is going to be brilliant, and I can't wait to see him whip Winks into shape. But sorry, the super chats are building. We'll let you go ahead.
Just one thing on Winks. Can you imagine him going up to Conte and saying, "You should play me because I want to play for England"? Can you imagine? And another thing. So 45 days since we've got a manager. I'm just watching Carlo Ancelotti doing his press conference for Real Madrid.
Oh,
Says it all.
Joke.
Says it all. But brilliant point, David. That was hilarious. Chin Man 007. One thing not mentioned much is that it looks like we will also have a defender possibly coming in with Conte. Is this
Director
the
of football?
Director of football.
Paratici.
Yeah.
That's director of football. Sorry, director of football. Yeah, director of football. Yeah, Paratici. Is this the end of Hitchin? I mean, ideally, absolutely so. Unless Hitchin is maybe also similar to what Winks would be for the club, or maybe Hitchin, prints out his papers, does maybe his filing cabinets and things like that. But yeah, maybe he'll take a Winks role.
Just quickly, Tin Man, what we'll do is we'll take the other couple of super chats that are there, and then I'm going to pass this over to Matt to let him tell us what he knows on this new Patrici or whatever you want to fancy name you want to give him.
I'll teach you how to say it off camera, David. Don't worry.
Yeah, please do, because I'd be clipped every week.
Joe 27 says, first time doing this. Big up, you bloody legends. I mean, thank you, Joe 27. Big up. Very generous of you. And then Clegg UK saying, wondering Ake. Is there another one I missed, David?
No, I didn't do that.
Wondering Ake plus Jesus plus 80 million or another. Big up. I mean, to be honest, I got to tell you, Clegg, I mean, big up for the super chat, but I really don't want Ake or Jesus. I think it's unrealistic, but if I were to take any of the players plus cash from City, I think it would be Laporte, just because I've heard there are rumors that he's quite unsettled there for not playing very much, and he might be on the way out. So I would take Laporte just to fix one of the center back issues at the club, but definitely not Ake or Jesus for me. Just
quickly, there's 460 people watching. It's absolutely insane. I don't know why half you guys aren't in bed with work and whatever else tomorrow. But it's the power of the Matt Army. Make sure everybody has smashed the like on the stream. Make sure if you're new, you'll have smashed the subscribe on the channel. I know there's some new ones there. I know there is. I'm on the big push for 3K. You guys can help me. Also, the link for bobspur TV and Matt Hayes is in the description below. If you like their input tonight, which I know you do because it's quality input, get over and subscribe to their channels too. And also, the chat is flying. So get your super chats in, guys. It's the way to go if you want to your comments discussed, your questions answered, and it's a great way to support the channel. But we'll just take Paul Gregory's super chat here, and then we'll get on to Matt can give us the lowdown on this new director of football. I'm actually excited, to be honest. Never thought I'd be excited about a director of football.
Yeah, definitely. With Paul Gregory, though, we complain about the time it's taken to appoint a manager, but if we rushed it, we could have ended up with Potter or Parker. I mean, I got to point this towards the panel here. I mean, the guys that, the people, I agree. I mean, 45 days without a manager, but when you think about it, maybe, it's kind of one of those things, you just got to take your time as your mother taught you, have a little bit of patience and maybe the better thing might come around eventually. What do you guys think?
Bob, do you want to take this one?
Yeah, we just don't know. Potter and Parker was all suggested by some of the media and some of the fans. So we never knew if there was a, and let's be honest, I think Levy and Enoch knows if it was going to be a Parker or Potter. There was no way the fans are going to be happy with that.
Yeah.
So rightfully so, they've taken their time. Yeah, we're a bit of a laughing stock. There's no reason why we couldn't really go for Conte. So yeah, I suppose it's all going to fall into place. And credit where credit is due at times. But I just think Conte's probably just fallen into their lap. I'm sure when Mourinho was sacked, Conte wasn't on the agenda. It certainly was for us. We mentioned Conte a couple of times, but I think the way it's all aligned, I think hence the reason Conte has become available and very likely next Tottenham manager. But for me, I still would have liked Poch.
Yeah, no, 100%. But look, Matt, I'm getting severe banter in the comments here. Please teach me how to say his name and tell us a little on him.
Fabio Paratici. It's
Paratici.
Just run Parrot. Yeah, just run Parrot and Ticci.
Just pretend Parrot and then you're itchy. So Paratici. Fabio Paratici has been the sporting director of Juventus since 2010. He was at the club in 2009. He had some admin role there. In 2010, he became their sporting director, and over the last 11 years, he's had some various titles, but essentially has carried out the same role. Now, the first thing that tells you just how good he was at Juventus is the goodbye message Juventus posted on the 26th of May last week, announcing that he will be leaving following the conclusion of his contract on the 30th of June. They said, after 11 seasons of intense work, victories and great passion on the pitch and behind the desk, Fabio Paratici, Juventus' managing director area football, will leave the club. His contract will not be renewed. He met Agnelli, blah, 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 this is why he's leaving. Having arrived from Sampdoria, Fabio joined the Juventus club in the summer of 2010, where he progressively grew in his positions, skills and areas of responsibility. He first started off as the coordinator of the technical area, then went on to fill the role of sports director from the 2011-12 season. Later on in 2018, he became the chief football officer. Now, in 2006, Juventus were relegated to the Serie B, and the future of the club was in severe doubt. They got back to the Serie A, and in his first season as director of football or sporting director, again, whatever you want to call it, they finished 7th in the league. In his second season, they finished first. In his third season, they finished first. And the next 9 seasons, they finished first. One key component of Fabio Paratici's time at Juventus has been his skill in acquiring players for free. And this is something that does quite excite me at Spurs. In the time he's been at Juventus as sporting director, he's picked up the following players completely free of charge: Andrea Pirlo, Paul Pogba, Fernando Llorente, Lucio, Kingsley Coman, Sami Khedira, Dani Alves, Emre Can, and Aaron Ramsey, and Adrien Rabiot, just to name a few. He's very, very astute at picking up these free transfers. Now, you also have to remember, the biggest transfer of this century, in terms of profile, in terms of stature, you can say, look, for one point it is Neymar and the price, but Fabio Paratici brought Cristiano Ronaldo to Juventus. Yep. It was a huge transfer. It was absolutely insane. Aside from that, he's made some other good signings in terms of Matthijs de Ligt, bringing him from Ajax.
Great deal,
the biggest. Absolutely. Look, he hasn't had the best time at Juventus, but he does have that
Demiral,
incredible future.
Demiral, or did he come through the ranks?
I'm not actually sure, but there has been. Look, every player Juve have signed over the last 11 years has come through Fabio Paratici, and they've had an absolute monopoly on the Italian league, which you do need to take big note of. He's very exciting. He is someone who can absolutely bring incredible players to Spurs. And him, along with Antonio Conte, like I said, I wanted Poch more than anything in this world, but head over heart, Conte plus Paratici is better than Mauricio Pochettino.
Yeah, I mean, that's you kind of just... That's a future question there, Matty. So you kind of just stunned me there, and so you just gave me that answer.
David told me to.
They worked really well together as well, didn't they, Matt? They worked really well together. I know Conte went on record a couple of times mentioning his name in person. So there's obviously that affection for from either side. So the fact they can both work together. It's not like a new managing director, a new director of football and a new manager who have to get to know each other, etc., and see how they bounce off each other. They know each other so well. It's everything's aligned, everything's in place. They know what Paratici knows how Conte works and vice versa. So I think that's a massive advantage as well.
The very fact that Conte has requested Paratici and he's one of his demands is massive.
Exactly. There you go. Yeah, and that's what we've been saying about Targ, haven't we? You know, if we get Targ in, we hope that he can bring in his backroom staff. And to be fair, in effect, that's what Conte's done. He's gone in and he said, right, if I'm coming, I want X person to come in with me. And let's hope Levy's bad to his request.
Yeah, 100%. Big up Henry Wright. He says, get me in the show. Conte is coming. Look, Henry, you know, I'll get you on. Look, as soon as it's announced, I'll get you straight on, man. You'll be the man I go to. I've seen you sitting there in the suit and the glasses all day long, loving life, you know. So, no, look, I'll get you on. I'll get you on again shortly, my man. I will. 100% I will. 100% I will. But big up Henry for the super chat. And everyone else, keep getting your super chats in, guys. Keep getting your super chats in. But Jack, work away. Next question, my man.
Absolutely. This next question is coming in with kind of like, I've been hearing this, you know, every now and again, where it's kind of like Conte, he's the next Mourinho. He's just like Mourinho. He's another Mourinho. Defensively, he's the same as Mourinho. And I just have to ask the panel, I mean, how is Conte different than Mourinho? How is he similar? I mean, where do you fall on that side of the question? Is he just like Mourinho, or is he really different from Mourinho? Is that an unfair criticism?
Can I take this one first?
Absolutely.
Look, for me, I've always maintained I believe we needed someone like Mourinho and Conte in charge. I still maintain that, you know, if you want to get that winners mentality, winning at all costs, these are the sort of guys you need in at your club.
Right.
You know, they don't take the shit from the players. They won't take shit from referees. They won't take shit from opposition teams. You know, and they'll do everything they can to win. They'll do the dark arts. If it needs to sit back, they'll sit back. If he needs to flood men forward, he needs to flood men forward. Is he similar to Jose? Mentality-wise, yes. Winning at all costs-wise, yes. He's more attacking than Jose. That's the thing. There'll be a better balance. And that's what I'm excited for. That's what I'm excited for. I think, you know, Bob said this earlier on. I think this is what Bob said to me earlier on, that, you know, he's a better version, modern-day version of Jose. And for me, I'm very excited about it. I'm very, very excited about it. But look, I don't want to hear anyone complain, you know, these players are getting a hard time. They need a daddy figure, you know, this, that, and the other. They need a massage every week. And, you know, the washing machine broke down last night. It's not their fault. They're putting a bad performance today. Don't want to hear any more of that. Right? No more excuses. This guy's coming in to get rid of these sleazebags that are in our team, robbing wages, robbing a dream of a fan, robbing a living, right? This is what Conte is brought in to do. So I'm happy that we've took this step, because although I was excited about Poch coming back, I was worried Winks and Davies and all were going to start creeping back into the team. But with Conte coming in, I can almost sure that Davies might be kept around. But with Winks, I can assure you, he's nowhere near a Conte player. And, you know, hopefully he can lay down a marker with some of these bottle jobs.
Yeah, absolutely, David. I completely agree with you. Brad Matthews, though, with a huge super chat. Absolutely. Excited by possible Conte appointment, but also concerned until Matt's info on the director of football. That sounds like a good combination.
That's what Matt does, though. Matt, you know, we all get excited. We all get hyped up. Some people get nervous and worried and upset. You just go to Matt. Matt's the calming man. Matt knows how to put things across. And he also does his homework and his research. So, you know, that's what Matt does, Brad. But big up Matt for that info. It was great. You know, I was already excited about Conte, but then give me that info on the DOF. It gave me a raging hard on. I'm all for it now. I can't wait. So big up Matt for the stats. And big up Brad Matthews for the super chat.
Big yourself up, Brad. You know, Matt, he's like starting to become, you know, he's almost like that, you know, that automatic, you know, news update on your phone. You know, he's kind of like, you hear about some crisis halfway around the world, but you're more looking forward to that Antonio Conte appointment or that Pochettino update on Matt Hayes. So, you know, he's the best notification on your phone around. But Dan Ann here, Conte automates the offense and plays out from the back much better than Jose. Completely agree. Similarly defensively, but the way Conte teams move, the ball is methodical. Yeah, Bob.
Dan's spot on. Yeah, he does.
Dan is spot on.
Again, but it's down to the players. Conte can play whichever way he wants out from the back and demand, but you can't tell me, you know, the likes of Sanchez, Dyer, and I don't know, whoever. I'll put Toby in there. Sanchez will play out from the back the way they did at Inter Milan or Juventus, purely because we don't have the players to copy that or do it the same way. So if he does want to play out from the back, all his teams do, then we have to get the right players in. We need to get the right players to do that.
Toby is
with
crucial.
Toby should be good. Sorry, mate.
He won the league with Azpilicueta, David Luiz, and Gary Cahill. Would you?
Yeah.
I think Azpilicueta is above par compared to our defenders. But
Luiz, no matter what we think of him, he's a better ball player than Sanchez and Dyer. And Cahill, I've always rated Cahill, so it's probably a question with me. I really like him. We should have got him when we had the chance all those years ago. So I just think they're better players. So yeah.
But big up Dan in the super chat.
Big up, mate.
Really appreciate it. And then just quickly, Brad Matthews, good point, David, about defence attack balance. Let's be honest, that's how Liverpool won the Premier League. 100%. Look, Brad, that's why people tune in. I always make good points, my man. That's why you come here, But big up, Brad. I really appreciate it. And of course, it is how Liverpool won the league. So big yourself up, Brad. Really appreciate the super chats. We'll pass that the question that you asked us, Jack, on to Matt there. I'm just running to get my fan, man. I'm sweating. I need to get the fan in here.
I've mine on there as well. I'm muting myself and I'm not talking.
Oh my God, man. This is ridiculous.
Absolutely.
Oh, God.
But,
I was complaining about the rain and stuff in Ireland, but God.
Matt, I'm interested to see where you fall on this, and I'm wondering if you've heard this as well. A lot of people are saying, Mourinho is just like Conte. Conte is just like Mourinho. They're the same kind of appointment. Stylistically, they're the same. It will just be the same outcome. I mean, what do you think? Is this the case, or do you think Conte is a little different?
I think it's a myth, and I think it's one that a lot of people have because of what you hear in the press and this and that, the other. Conte is a manager who is very, very talented at managing defensive teams, at managing his team defensively, rather, as every Italian coach is. We know in Italy, defense is an art, and it's one that a lot of their managers have perfected. Now, on that point of the defense of Chelsea, I think Gary Cahill is really underrated because he had like 36 pace in FIFA. I think he is, like Bob said, a really good defender. David Luiz, as I said, rash out of possession, very good in possession, and Azpilicueta as well, a very, very good player.
Yeah.
That defense fits in perfectly to that team that wants to play out from the back. And I've seen some clips on Twitter, and I know Jenk, a good friend of ours, posted. Yeah. He said it was back in 2019 that Spurs need to play out from the back like Conte's Inter. It's something he's very, very good at. Now, just because he's good defensively doesn't mean he's a defensive manager. Inter Milan this season scored 89 goals in the Serie A. Only Bayern Munich and Atalanta had more. So this Pep Guardiola Manchester City that's ran away with this league didn't score as many goals as Inter Milan. They had, I think, 83. Throughout Conte's time at Inter Milan, they scored 170. Only Atalanta, who are this crazy team that win every game 5-4, only they scored more goals than Inter Milan. Conte is very good defensively, but is not a defensive manager. And that's what Spurs fans are going to find out as we come in. I think that super chat a while ago, was it Brad Matthews who said that Dan said Conte automates the defence and plays out from the back much better than Jose. It's that, like he says, that methodical movement of the ball forward. And Conte, I saw a thread on Twitter which kind of summarised all this really, really well. But Conte in the past has been described as as a PlayStation manager, because it looks as though his players are being controlled by someone with a controller sitting on the side of the pitch, because every single one of them knows exactly what they need to do. And look, that kind of tactical demand on the Spurs squad could prove to be really, really bad, and could be a bad thing for us, because, I mean, if we still have Serge Aurier, Moussa Sissoko, Harry Winks, if they're being told, first of all, Conte will have to explain what tactics are, and then he'll have to tell them the tactics they need to implement. That could be very, very poor, but that's when this, what was the word they used? The revamp of the squad for Antonio Conte is going to be very important. And we may not need to buy multiple 60, 70, 80 million pound players. There may be 20, 30 million pound players out there that we can get. But it's not a case of buying 20 million pound players. It's buying Conte's 20 million pound players. And that's where Paratici comes into this. That's where Conte comes into this. And I'm really excited, Jack.
I was excited that you said Aurier and Sissoko, and reminded me that they were still here.
They'll be gone, don't worry.
Yeah, 100%.
But we got Matthew Collins here with the big super chat. Thank you, Matthew. Big yourself up. He says Conte equals Deadwood out, as in Bet Davies, Sanchez, Sissoko, Dyer. I mean, the list goes on. Am I right, Matthew? I mean, that would just be brilliant if that's what Conte guarantees, and I really think that's what he guarantees. That would just be a dream, and we would all be sleeping. Very well. So big up, Matthew. Absolutely agree. I don't
by
think
my side at the protest, Matt did. I'll never forget that. Big up, Matt. Big up, Matt.
And Matthew as well. You need to email me, man, to do the Spurs story, lad. Don't forget.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The email is in the description below.
All right, Matthew, let David know. And Bob, I don't think I've asked you though. I mean, what do you think? Is this kind of criticism of Jose, or is it criticism of Conte? Are they the same person? Are they the same stylistically? Where does this come from? I mean, do you agree? Where do you fall on that?
I think it's their hard-nosed, stubbornness that's probably similar. And I wouldn't be surprised if Conte's actually built himself and styled himself off by looking at Mourinho. But Conte, and like I said to Dave on when we were texting each other earlier, I believe Conte is a newer version of Jose. He's probably moved with the times. He's definitely moved with the times, and I think his player management's probably a lot better as well. So similarities are there. They dress the same. I can picture Jose in a suit and Conte in a suit, and they look identical. But I think they are similar in some ways, but different in so many others. And I think, like Matt says, he's a lot more forward thinking. He's got a defensive. All his teams have a defensive shape about them, but when they go forward, my word, they go forward. And he's brought the best out of Lukaku. He brought the best out of who are the attackers? Who were the strikers when he was at
Hazard, Pedro,
Chelsea?
and
there you go.
Was it
Pedro? No,
Diego
Pedro
Costa.
probably had his. Yeah, that's it. Da Costa. So hence the reason why Jesus ain't going to come in, because he always plays with a big man up front. And Pedro, who was a Barcelona reject to an extent, had the season of his life under Conte. For a season and a half, he was probably one of their best players. So it just shows, Jose's failures are evident, certainly in my eyes, which I've shared with everyone, especially David. But with Conte, it's a different line, basically, a different route. And I think there's a lot more chance of being successful again, if backed, than what we had under Jose. But it just comes down to Levy, doesn't it?
100%. Just quickly, look, I want to relieve Matt Hayes of duties. The guy, he had a full shift in work today, came home, done his own stream, and even had, even come and graced us with his presence on this stream here, filling in for Danny tonight. So, Matty, I want to say a massive thank you. We have 512 people watching right now. Let them know where they can find you. Let them know what they can expect. And also, drop the link to your channel in the chat there, Matty, for people to go over and subscribe. And before Matty does, I just want to say, Matty is the place to go for all breaking news, all transfer news, all manager news and everything else. He's always quick on the button. While Matty plugs his channel, I'm just going to go off and send Henry right the link.
Yeah, thank you, David. I appreciate that. I'm going to drop my link down in the live chat. I don't know if it's coming through because I'm not a mod, but it is in there. Look, I try to get thank you. I try to get the news out as quickly as possible. When Matt Hayes Tottenham blog on YouTube, I'll be having extended coverage over the next 2 days because I actually have 2 days off work, which doesn't happen very often. So we'll have multiple streams, we'll have multiple guests on, extended coverage of this, as I do expect Conte to be announced in the next couple of days. So hopefully we'll be live when that does happen. I'd appreciate any support on the channel. We're on the road, hopefully, to 10K before the season starts. Ambitious, but what are Spurs fans without hope and ambition? But while you are here, make sure to smash that like button for David. Let's get him to 250 before he gets back. Make sure to smash that subscribe button as well. He's got over 50 during this live stream, so let's get those numbers up as well. He deserves the support and everything like that. Get your super chats in for him as well. And look, he deserves support more than anybody.
Definitely.
Looking forward to the next breaking news. Looking forward to the next breaking news, Matt. Loving it, mate. Loving it.
Thank you very much, Robbie. I appreciate it.
I've cancelled Sky Sports because of you now, so it's all down to you.
Some said in my live chat a while ago it'll be the next Jim White. I don't know if I need to change the accent or whatever, but I'll figure something out. Dye the hair and all.
That's it. Well, you got the Talk Sport colours.
Oh, don't say that! How dare you? Wow, that's the worst. Look, I'll let you go now, lads. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks a million.
Nice one. Thank you for not mentioning the slipper.
I will soon.
Okay.
Brilliant.
Right.
So Bob, it's just you and I, but that means you're only left to my device with my questions, and and you might be, see if you put you through the ropes here.
Bring it on, baby.
I think I got to ask you to answer this, not with your heart, but with your mind. and I know you have a very big mind, and so I hope, you know, I might give the answer that I want, but then again, you know, maybe the answer I want is not the right answer here. But let's say, you know, the big disclaimer has been, you know, with Conte, you also get Paratici. Big up, Henry. What's up? With Conte,
Yes.
Bob, you get Paratici, right? But let's say with Pochettino, right? Let's say Pochettino had his Paratici. Let's say he had his director of football with him, the one that he trusts. Would you back Pochettino more in that situation if that were a hypothetical scenario than you would Conte, or would you still probably take Conte over Pochettino? Using your mind maybe more than your heart.
We're Spurs fans. We like getting carried. We're football fans, actually. We like being carried away with our heart, with our passion. You know, we're probably blinded by it sometimes. But when you sit back and look at the cold light of day, maybe, like Matt said, maybe it was probably too soon for Poch. You know, the ideal time for Poch is probably in 2 or 3 years to come in and carry on when Conte's likely to get to the end of his obvious cycle. So, and again, I've got to be careful because I'm repeating exactly what I said about Jose. You know, we're getting someone who's a winner, a proven winner, who's won everywhere he's gone. 9 out of the last 11 years, he's been successful, i.e., winning the league. But I think it just feels a bit different this way. And for me, like I say, the you know what I mean, Paratici is more of a prominent signing than what Conte is, because it just shows that maybe the board are looking to go a different way, and hopefully that you know, has a domino effect to the financial backing as well. So I don't know who Henry Wright's backing with those shades on, but I'm assuming the name starts with C.
That's it, mate.
And it's got Conte in the middle. So yeah, big up. But to be fair, Henry's been a big fan of Conte and been shouting his name from the rooftops for a while. So I think we're best off leaving the next few minutes to the Conte fanboy.
Let me ask Henry. So Henry, if there were a cheek of Conte's to kiss, which one would it be?
Both. Honestly, when he
the
gets
Italian
way,
yeah,
the Italian way, mate. When he gets announced, we're having the Italian flag on the back. We're getting the champagne bottles out. The Godfather is here. Not only that, you bring in the Godfather, and you've brought in a director of football. We have been calling for this for months. Yeah, Steve Hitchen's done his best, but bring him in. The likes of Dele Alli, Dyer. If you don't want to be at the club, he will get rid of you. We are suited and booted at 11:15 at night for the Godfather. Antonio Conte is coming. And we honestly, you better strap in because it's going to be a tough few months getting rid of some of this deadwood. But if he gets the right money and he actually gets backed and he gives his director of football, Petrini, the right money, I'm telling you now, I'm going to spray the champagne all over this bedroom. The Italian flags, I'm going to be eating pizza for a month. I'm telling you, he was my first choice. We said it the other day. I was thinking Poch, but then I thought about it. This man has just turned Lukaku back to his best.
Yeah.
Victor Moses and Ashley Young at wing backs. Like, imagine what you can do to Reguilon or to Redemption Reggie and Delberto Carlos in Doherty.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, we should. And there's a lot of people saying, "Oh, Mourinho, this, Mourinho, that." This man is in his prime.
Yeah.
Just take the glasses off because it's getting a bit ridiculous. And he might be able to deliver a few of these trophies because at the moment we are starved. A couple of lions chasing the gazelles. We are starved. We need.
Well, look, Henry. We have the Welsh mafia. We have the French mafia. You know, so we now have the mafia boss coming in. So it'd be like the Godfather at Tottenham. So it will be. We have 472 people watching. I did drop the link for bobspur on Matt Hayes' channel in the chat there. So guys, make sure you get over, check it out. Now you also have Henry Wright TV on as well. So make sure you get over and check him out. Before we end off on why Henry's plugging his channel, I will drop his link in there as well. Make sure you do keep smashing a like on the stream. If you're new, make sure you have subscribed, and also get those super chats in for the panel. The chat is insane. It's hard to keep up. You want your comment guaranteed to be read out or your questions answered. Get those super chats in. Sorry, Bob.
You know, what I was going to say about Hitchen, and I think Jack, I've mentioned it to you a couple of times, possibly you as well, Dave. You know, Hitchen for me did do most of what he was asked for. You know, he went to certain players, i.e. the Skriniars, the Grealishes, the Brunos, and it was all facts that they were just a signature away from signing for Tottenham Hotspur. So he brought them to the door. He opened the door. He sold our football club to them. They entered the door. They sat down at the office. They sat down at the desk and were ready to sign. And the only reason they didn't was down to Levy. So bringing in Paratici is absolutely fantastic. I just hope Levy gives him a bit more credit with the job that he is going to do, because, like I say, I know a lot of people give Hitchin stick, and so do I to it. But I do like to stand back sometimes and think, you know, for us to be associated with so many players who were only a signature away from signing for us, was that down to Hitchin really, or was that down to Levy? For me, Levy has to take majority of the blame.
100%. He's the one crunching the numbers, Bob. Levy has the final say. 100%. I agree with you. Full on agree with you. Just quickly, Matthew Collins says, David, is the link to come on now in the community section? No, man, there is no link, man. But look, I will look as soon as it's announced. I'll do a fan show, and Matthew, I'll send you the link personally, man. Just send me an email. You know, at I keep thinking my Twitter, man. Theirishyid at gmail.com. Send me an email there, man, and I will get you the link as soon as it's announced, man. I'll be doing a fan show, and I'll get you on, because I do want to
reach out to anyone, Matt. But reach out to anyone, Matt. Any of us in the YouTube club, we'll send you a link for Dave's channel when he does a live one. So don't worry about it.
Yeah, 100%, Matt. And look, you know, we'll get you on the fan show, and then after that, man, you want to start doing panel shows and everything else, you know, I'll get you on. No worries at all. Yeah, and make sure 100%. You email me, because, like I said, the Spurs story, guy. Don't forget, man, I really want to listen to it. And I know you're at the protest as well, so be interested to speak here. You're a good man. Big up, Matthew. I really appreciate the super chat. Everyone else, keep getting them in. Jacob, we'll go to the next question, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of a, I don't know, it's difficult to go about this, but with Conte, is it possible? I mean, you know, is it possible that he could be a long-term manager for Spurs?
I'll just say this quickly.
Could we be the one? Could we be the one that he ends up being long-term for?
No. For me, look, I'm just going to be short and sweet, and then the rest of the boys can come in on this. For me, I think it's a 2-year plan. But if he comes in and it's 2 years, you know, at least you can guarantee by the time he does leave Tottenham, he's going to have this club on the right track with the right mentality of players in, and the club will have the right mentality about it. But I genuinely can't see him being a long-term manager. That's just my opinions. It'll be interesting to hear what the rest of the guys have to say.
Big up, Manny Singh, fellow Singh. Exactly what Dave says. You know, short term. In fact, we're, you know, without belittling ourselves, we're probably a stepping stone for Conte. You know, to come back into the Premier League and do something with, let's be honest, a not so successful team of late. And like I said earlier, if he progresses us within the league, i.e. challenging for that top four and getting us into the top four and winning a couple of cups in those 2 years, I'd say even a cup. That for me is progression. That's massive progression. And if that means that's changing the mentality and the culture of the club, which Pochettino managed to do when he came in, then we're there. And we just hope that after 2.5, 3 years, whenever that is, you know, we can progress and bring another manager who can take the reins on. And who knows, like Matt said, bring a Poch in and take us a bit forward. But for now, let Conte come in, let him do his bit, and let him progress us. And then, by all means, if he wants to move on 2 or 3 years, then that's absolutely fine. As long as we see progression, he's done his job.
Yeah, 100%. All right. I mean, Henry, though, they're saying there's an expiration date with the Italian stallion. I mean, what do you think? Is there an expiration date? I mean, I don't think cheese goes bad. So, what do you think?
Or Italian wine.
Fine wine. He's like a fine wine. Could he go bad? Could he go bad at Spurs?
Oh, Jack's so funny.
I think he's got 2 seasons. I think Daniel Levy is doing smart business here. So the way my little stupid brain is operating, right? So I believe this is the way I'm thinking. He brings Conte in. The number 1 priority should be winning that UEFA Conference League to get us back into Europe and getting into the top 4. Bringing in director of football is keeping Conte on his side. Keeping Harry Kane is keeping Conte on his side. If he gets rid of 2 or 3 of the deadwood, the likes of, I mean, I have a serious agenda against Lo Celso. I can't help it, but he would.
Yeah, I don't think he's good enough either. I agree.
Lamella's got to go. Dyer's got to go. If you can generate some funds,
Winks.
I'm joking.
I think his first signing will be Milan Skriniar.
Yeah.
I stand by it.
I'd say Lukaku after that.
Well, the thing is with Lukaku, he's just come out and said that he wants to pounder Inzaghi. Now, bringing in the likes of Hakimi would be a statement signing, but we ain't going to pay 80 million for a right back. So you bring in Conte, you bring in the director of football. He wins. He potentially, this is all hypothetical, gets us back into Europe, does really well, then opens the doorway for 2 managers.
Yeah,
I'll tell you who I think they will be.
Yeah,
I think it's written in the stars that Poch will come back in 2 years' time.
We got a super chat from Nikola Stefanovic. I
just
love
quickly,
saying
Jack,
that
before you
name.
read it out, do you want to switch myself and yourselves? Because you're the one answering the questions. People, I'd say I want to see your mug more than mine. You look like Tommy out of Love Hate or out of Power Man. I don't look like anybody, so I'd rather see your mug than mine.
Yeah, absolutely. It's right over here, you mean, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. We got a super chat though from Nikola Stefanovic. Big up. That's probably the best name I've seen yet. I love saying any name that ends with an itch. But if Conte don't win you trophy, I don't know who will. I mean, Stefanovic, I got to tell you, I mean, if Conte doesn't win us one, I will probably just sit back and just wait until, have a couple of kids. I retire. I'm 70 years old. And then by then, maybe, David, he's already kind of, he's relaxing in the Bahamas. And then maybe by then, maybe time has passed and we'll get the trophy. But you're exactly right. If Conte can't get us a trophy, I don't know who will.
But you can copy and paste that and say exactly the same thing about Mourinho. Exactly the same thing was said about Mourinho.
Mourinho, Conte is in his prime.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with you. Yeah.
If you, I can't believe I'm this deluded, right? If you give Conte what he wants, and I mean you seriously back him, I can't believe I'm going to say this.
Oh my God! Let me put myself on mute.
If you give Conte exactly what he wants, and you buy the players he wants, and you keep Harry Kane, we can challenge. We can challenge. We can be up there. I'm telling you now.
I agree with you. I go into every season believing Henry. Every season.
No, it's not even about believing. This man, right? He is called. I've nicknamed him the Godfather, and I've just put a video on Twitter of me dancing to the Godfather's music. This man, he installed that belief in you. Mourinho will put you down. This man, Højbjerg is going to turn into a Viking and just go through every single wall for this man. We've just got to supply him with the players he needs. Because if we do what I think we're going to do at the back of my silly little brain, and we're going to bring in utter dross, like I'm talking about half of Graham Potter's team at Brighton. But if we go and buy Milan Skriniar, you bring in Buendia from Norwich, you bring in someone else from Inter Milan, and you buy another centre back to go alongside maybe Tanganga. Donnarumma's on a free. You just agreed a contract. I'm telling you now, that team is stronger than Man United, and Man United were second, and we've got Conte, probably the second best, probably third best coach in the league behind Guardiola and Klopp. You could argue he's streaks ahead of that fucking 2-bob pandemic Pep at Arsenal, and he's streaks ahead of the future at Man United.
Ollie, yeah.
I know I'm getting too far ahead because it's not confirmed yet. But if
he will be confirmed, Henry. He will be confirmed tomorrow. Trust me.
Champagne is going to be coming out.
For the season tickets. I think it'll be confirmed tomorrow. I think Levy will be in there overnight trying to make it happen, because he knows if he doesn't get either Conte or Poch, he's done. Levy's done, and this I can't stress this enough. If none of them come in and we end up, Friday appointing, for instance, Harry Potter, what I mean, and you see people outside the stadium with their Quidditch broomsticks and everything else, honestly, the fans are going to go nuts at Levy because they've been conned. All these names in the press. Season ticket renew date is closed. People have done the renewal thinking they're going to see better football this year, and then all of a sudden, Potter gets announced. So he's playing well. He's playing with fire. He is playing with fire. But he better get this done. If not, he's screwed. He is screwed. But look, the thing is with Levy, he's been handed it on a golden plate. The fan base has never been so pissed off with him, but somehow he's sitting there with the golden plate in front of him. He can bring in Conte and back him. People can't argue then. So, he has a chance now to put things right, and it's completely up to him. And guys, keep getting those super chats in, and make sure you subscribe to bobspur TV and Henry Wright TV, lads, and Matt Hayes as well. All the panel here today, guys. Make sure you get over and show them some support as well.
Absolutely. And Tim Man 007 with yet again another super chat. Very generous of you, Tim Man, tonight. I hope you, I can kind of tell maybe he's a bit of a Conte-inner, but, you know, maybe he's just
He's
being
loving
generous
Conte.
tonight.
Sitting there,
Yeah,
he's
but
Ben
I
and
love
Jerry's
Tim
waiting
Man.
for it to be announced
Absolute
what this guy's
legend.
for.
Absolute legend, Tim Man. He says, more pressure on Levy than Conte. Everyone will be looking at how much Conte will be back. Conte has nothing to lose, but we have everything to gain. I mean, Tim Man, you just said it perfectly, word for word. You didn't even waste a word. You just said it perfectly. It just says everything still about Levy. Still, the pressure's on Levy. Sure, he hired Conte, but how will he back him? How will he support him? He can't let this end up like Mourinho. And that's, like Bob was saying too, a lot of copy and paste statements that, we've almost kind of made were about Mourinho that we've said today. So it's just whether he'll be backed, and that's what needs to be different. But big yourself up, Tim Man 007 for the super chat. And then we got one from That Football Show, Spurs edition. And they say, excited about the Conte hired. Shake things up. The soft DNA. People can now be quiet. DNA equals 1 trophy. Conte 352 will bring trophies with proper backing. I mean, the 352, the 3-4-2-1, kind of formation as well. I mean, it's absolutely brilliant. I think, the year he won it with Chelsea in the Premier League, I don't even think he did it with the best of squads. It just really shook the Premier League up at the time. And to be honest, I think he could be actually suited for just at least winning something in the Premier League. The way that he manages the squads, the way he sets his teams up, it's similar to Mourinho in a way. It's always to win. It's nothing else. It's just set up to win. And in a way, he almost does it a lot more fashionably and a little bit more classily than I would say Jose does. But big up That Football Show.
Big up.
100%. Fully agree with Tim Man 007 super chat. I fully agree with this super chat. But, the whole idea of bringing in the likes of Jose and now Conte is to change the whole DNA at Tottenham Hotspur. That this is why you're bringing them in. Because if not, we could have went and gambled on Harry Potter. Hopefully it worked out. The reason why we're bringing in these guys is to change the DNA of Tottenham, is to try and win trophies. But I cannot stress this enough. There's no point in bringing them in if you're not going to back them. Because all you're doing is you're bringing in a manager to try and appease the fans, but again, doing the same thing that we're already pissed off with, not giving them the tools to do the job. So it's all well and good bringing them in, but they have to flex their muscles in the market now. And that's it.
Just gonna get a drink, guys, all right?
Work away.
Do you know what I would do? And this might upset a few people. If I'm Antonio Conte, my first move as Tottenham manager would be make Højbjerg the captain.
Yep, I agree.
And I'll tell you why that is. If he can run through walls for Jose and Mourinho, Antonio Conte is going to get him doing backflips. He is going to be doing absolute ridiculous. He played every single minute of the season in the Premier League for Spurs under Jose and Ryan Mason. If Antonio Conte is going to turn this man into a Viking, I'm telling you. No. I don't know if any of you have seen Lord of the Rings. Uruk-hai, that is what this man's going to be.
He's going to need to put a muzzle on him. He's going to need
Henry,
to put a
you
muzzle
don't watch
on
this
him
channel
to keep him from biting all the players.
You don't watch this channel. Sorry,
mate, just get involved. I just can't wait. Also, if you haven't already, make sure you do smash a like on this video. It does help everyone out. I'm just speechless, mate.
It does, but honestly, you don't watch this channel enough. Here, we're big fans of Højbjerg's mentality. We all agree that your goalkeeper should never be a captain. Højbjerg is the right man.
I know obviously we all are, but it's just the chat, and obviously a lot of people like Lloris as captain because he's won a World Cup. I mean, let's be honest, you could have put a plank of wood in goal with that France team and you win a World Cup.
Yeah, 100%. But look, Jack, crack on with the next question, my man.
No, but I absolutely agree. With Højbjerg, I think just under Conte, like Henry said, he'll be doing backflips, and I think honestly he'll need to put a muzzle or something on Højbjerg because I think he'll just be too excited under that much motivation and inspiration under Conte. He might just have to hold him back. Might even have to just, it's almost like put blinders on him or something because he'll just be too energetic under Conte, too inspired. But I'm going to be stealing almost a question because I did see this and it was similar to one of mine, but actually better. And it was from somebody in the chat. So I think it's hard for me to find it again, but it was.
What's the name? I look for it.
It's from Patty Hartnett, and it was way back there. But Patty Hartnett, big yourself up.
And I think I know what one you're going to ask.
Yeah. And it was that question where it's like, what does this mean for the protests? And maybe I'll go, well, while David is looking, I'll ask Henry here. What does this mean for the protests? Are the protests still moving on? Or is the signing of Conte, does that, just diminish them right away? Or do you think the protests might still happen until maybe Conte is backed? How do you see the protests moving on from here if Conte is appointed?
So the thing is that is a very, very good question, because
I can't find it. Sorry, Paddy.
all we have been
Sorry.
asking for from this board and from Daniel Levy is to recruit a director of football and recruit a manager who actually knows what he's doing, rather than bringing in some clown from the under-18s. Now, the situation is, we're not going to forget what Daniel Levy's done at this football club for the last 20 years, for a long, long time, unless Antonio Conte comes in and wins the Premier League title. Then we would all be absolutely, it'd be like a bank holiday every single day through summer for Spurs fans. It'd be like every day's Christmas. We'd be absolutely loving it. I'd probably spend all of my annual leave down at the pub. But the situation is, you're not going to forget anything that's happened. You're not going to forget the fact that this man put hard workers on the furloughed members of staff. You're not going to forget that he's the highest paid chairman in the Premier League and that he doesn't put any money in. All I think he's doing is, David made a good point earlier, and so did Bob. This is make or break for Levy. If he gets this wrong and he doesn't appoint Conte and a director of football, it's going to be 10 times worse on his back. Every Spurs fan that wasn't already ENIC out is going to get more and more and more. And by the way, these super chats are flying in, so I'm going to quickly speed up. We need to appoint this man ASAP. You need to bring a director of football, and then they have to work together with Levy. Levy's a fantastic businessman. He's very good, but you haven't got a football brain. Stay out of the football side, deal with the financial side, and let's let Conte bring in the trophies. Because I'm telling you, if you give this man what he wants, it's coming. Forget Trophy Mourinho, forget that washed up Nuno Santos. It's coming. I'm telling you now, it is coming in.
Oh, you're inspiring me, Henry. You're inspiring me. But what's even more inspiring are some of these super chats, especially from Aglaia Kakaratis. And she says, we want the Godfather, not the Podfather. And we want to eat at the finest Italian restaurants, not fish and chips from Brighton. I mean, I will say, though, Aglaia, I've heard a lot about fish and chips from Brighton. But then again, I do want to be eating at the finest of Italian restaurants. I do want to be eating where Conte eats. I want to be eating where the winners eat. And so I absolutely agree with you, Aglaia. I want to know what they're ordering as their side dishes. I want to know what they're ordering for dessert. So I absolutely agree with you, Aglaia. And also thank you for supporting the Irish Hotspur and helping David eventually be able to make it to one of them fine Italian restaurants. So absolutely, Aglaia.
I just want to say quickly, Aglaia, 100%. That's a brilliant comment. You gave me a right giggle there. I absolutely love it. I can see it now. Potter's in charge. You bring the team down to be sitting on the end of Brighton Pier, sitting there eating the fish and chips in the newspaper. I can see it now. Knees. But we have Conte now, so we're going to be going to the best of the best Michelin star restaurants. I absolutely love it. I appreciate the support, Aglaia. Big up. And then we have one more to get to. And then we're actually going to let Bob in on I'm going to shut my mouth. I'm going to let Bob in on that question you asked there, and we'll give it to Bob because he only came in and Henry was answering.
Yeah, absolutely. But we have a we got a very, very, very generous super chat from Mika Johnson here, from Micah Johnson, and it says 3-4-3 formation of Lloris, Doherty, Skriniar, Toby, Ake, Region, Højbjerg, Dembele, Memphis.
He's on his way to Barca.
Yeah, he's on Memphis Depay. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And then Andre Silva, and then Son, Kane out for 100 mil plus Ake, 100 million for Skriniar, Adrian Silva, Memphis Depay free. Only problem are Pep Club, Tuchel. I'm a little confused, but big up Michael Johnson. David, maybe I didn't read this well. Did you make sense of this?
You made a mockery out of that, mate. Honestly,
I really did.
So basically, look, he's saying in the 3-4-3 formation, he wants
players,
Lloris in goals, Doherty at right back, Skriniar and Ake in at centre back, along with Toby, with Reguilon at left back or left wing back, Højbjerg and Ndombele forming the midfield too, with Andre Silva as with Memphis, Andre Silva and Son as the attack line. And basically what he's saying is Kane sell Kane for 100 mil and get Ake from City. And then 100 million, out of that 100 million by Skriniar, Silva, Memphis, he's on a free. But my man, Mike, he's on his way to Barcelona. And then only problem is Pep, Klopp and Tuchel. So basically saying, once you have that squad, the only people standing in your way is City, Liverpool and Chelsea and then three managers. Big up, Nick. Absolutely love the super chat. Now. Thank you so much. Too generous, and the same as Aglaia. Absolute legends. I really do appreciate it. And everybody else, keep getting the super chats in. The chat is flying. We're still carrying 470 people right now. It's insane. You know what I mean? So make sure you keep smashing that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the Irish Hotspur, this channel right now. Henry Wright TV, bobspur TV, and Matt Hayes as well. Make sure you get over to all 3 channels. And also the link for Jack's Twitter is in below, along with all the channels in the description. Make sure you get on them as well, because it's not only me that makes this show. You guys are tuning in, but it wouldn't be happening without Bob filling in, without Bob coming on the panel every week, without Jack coming up with questions and coming on the panel every week and helping me host the show with the amount of comments. With Henry popping in the way he does, with Matt Hayes filling in for Danny Kiriakou. You know, so this show is not without these guys, so I can't stress enough. Make sure you get over and give these guys the same support you give me, and keep getting those super chats in, guys. Keep getting them in. But Jack, do you want to give that Bob that question to Bob, man?
Yeah, I will. Definitely give that. Definitely give that to Bob. I definitely got to say, big up Mika Johnson, big up Aglaya, big up. I think it was Rowan from earlier. Big up Jordan Stevens. I mean, everybody's been so incredibly generous and so incredibly thoughtful tonight, especially with a lot of these super chats. You know, they're almost too complex for me. You know, the way I'm reading them, I'm trying to make sense of them as well. You guys are catching me off guard. You guys are getting me. You guys are getting me mixed up with some of these, and you guys are just being way too generous, way too. I mean, not way too, but you know, just being absolutely so generous tonight, and it's really just an absolute pleasure.
They want Conte.
They want Conte. You know, they have spoken. They want Conte, but really, big yourself up, Mika Johnson. Big yourself up, Aglaya. Everybody, Jordan Stevens. All pat yourselves on the back, literally, physically, and yeah, definitely big up yourselves. So really, very generous of you all. But Bob, I don't think I asked you.
No, we don't, Arthurs.
What does this mean for the protest, Bob? Like, is the appointment of Conte, does it for you, does it squash the protests, or are the protests still, wide and open? Are the protests still wide and open, considering that, Conte hasn't even been backed yet? We haven't had any real signings come in. I mean, where are you with the protests? Like, what does this mean?
When as someone who's been to the protest, the first one, whilst driving back, I felt so disappointed. And I hope David doesn't mind, I actually rang David up, and he'll remember my conversation with him. I was absolutely gutted. Even thinking about it now, so disappointed, so gutted, so disappointed. And it's not going to surprise David when I say I'll still be going. I'll still be going. I'll drive 3.5 hours, 4 hours to make my voice heard, because like Henry's just said, mate, it's going to take a lot more than just the signing of a manager and a director of football for me to forget that he was going to sell my dreams, my tradition, the history. He was going to destroy Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, and no signing, and I mean no signing, is going to make me change that. So, I understand your question, but I don't think David would be asking me. David, I don't think David would be asking. I don't think David would be asking me the question.
I think what he more means is, do you think that
I'd actually more not mean you.
Comes in and gets the players in, that maybe out will kind of die down.
I think I've said before, just because I love Tottenham at a certain level, I don't blame anyone who doesn't. They probably in their eyes do love Spurs at the maximum level, but it's a generational thing. I love Tottenham because I've seen the bad times, I've seen the good times. I remember Vinny Samway scoring against Oldham, I think it was, away from home to keep us in the league, winning the FA Cup in '91. So my love for Tottenham isn't any greater than anybody else. It's probably just a bit different. I don't expect anyone else to match that. So I understand, and I fully understand that a signing of Conte and a direct football will change people's mind, and it will go from Levy out to Levy in, or Levy reformed to Levy has reformed. So I totally understand that, and everyone, I've said this on my stream over it, everyone's entitled to their opinion. As long as you can back it up, everyone's entitled to their opinion. I just hope, and it's probably hope, that's not going to be not rightfully placed, because the turnout for the protest said it all really, and me and Stell remember talking about it. We definitely misread the room. The people weren't there we were expecting. So the protests,
it was a bit hit and miss.
It was, mate, and the protests hardly had in numbers, and suffice to say that's going to get lesser once Conte's in as well. But I can just speak for myself, and I know some people out there who will agree with me. A signing of a manager doesn't change what Levy was going to do and Kineke were going to do. So I'll fight my corner.
If he comes in and wins the league, Bob. If he comes in and wins the league, and Levy, look, I'm only asking this to be devil advocate.
Yeah.
You know where I stand on the situation.
Same here.
Everyone else watching right now, I don't want you to get this construed. I'm playing devil's advocate. If Conte came in, he was backed, and we won the league, or we were close to the league, we just missed out. Yeah. Would your opinion sort of change on Kineke then, or would you still be
No, I'll put my hands up. Yeah, of course.
You don't have to put your hands up, lad. You're fighting to better this club, so that when Conte comes in, he's backed.
Yeah,
you're fighting for that. So don't put your hands up for him.
As long as he's backed and he's given and we as a club shows the right direction, and Conte fits into that direction and identity, and he wins us the league, then of course that's going to go a long way for me to trust him. For me, I'll put a time limit on it. For me, it's got to be 3 years of progression. For me,
even it's not enough.
Yeah. No. It's got to be 3 years. Exactly. It's got to be continuous. It's got to be continuous for me. So winning the league is in the right ways. It's a good direction. It's a good pinpoint. But for me, it's not only winning the league and sitting back. Right, let's go for the ESL now. No. It's got to be continuous. It's got to be 3 years of complete progression and backing from Levy. Then it'll go a long way for me to change my mind. So
absolutely,
it'd be the right way. But like Henry says, it's going to take a lot more. Take
the Champions League for me. If he won the Champions League in the next 2 years, that I would go right. Fair enough. But you had Pochettino at the peak of his powers, prime Dembele, prime Dele Alli at the time. I know Dele Alli's only 25, but some players peak early. Prime Walker, prime Rose, prime Vertonghen, prime Alderweireld, prime Lloris. You had the spine, and you couldn't. Two players is all we needed to win the Premier League. You know, a backup striker that was absolutely adequate and a backup playmaker, and you could have won the league for when Eriksen and Kane get injured. We were 7 points of beating Chelsea. Go on.
Yeah, I keep on saying, Henry, we were one step away from being not only challengers but champions of the Premier League in my eye. And that one step could have been 2 players or 1 player or 3 players or whatever. We were one step away, just one step of progression from the board for us to win the league. We're now probably 4 steps away. Manager, director of football, players, and direction within the football club. We're 4 steps away. You know, Pochettino had the culture in place, had the players in place, had the identity in place. We just needed those players.
There was a lot of young players.
Exactly.
Dele Alli was like 20, 21, and he was doing absolute ridiculous. The thing is as well, you had the identity there. You actually had the Tottenham DNA. The football was exciting to watch. We went an entire season undefeated at home at White Hart Lane. We beat absolutely everyone, all the big 6. We slapped Man City 4-1 and clown boots, moon boots. Eric Dyer was on the score sheet.
Mate, I'd go as far as saying Dyer was in his peak under Pochettino. There was a time where we got into the England National League under with the DM. I mean, Dembele had a lot to do with it. You know, when you've got a class player like Dembele, he'll bring out the best of you. He's got the Toby effect, hasn't he? But mate, for me, Dyer was in his peak, and let's see what happens.
Just quickly, Jack, you answer this super chat. You give your thoughts on this super chat, man. We are going to go for about another half an hour. I do want to get through more Jack's fantastic questions as well. So, Jack, you take this super chat. You answer it, man, and then we'll crack on with more questions.
Absolutely. We got TK though, so it's always good to see TK though in the chat, and also with a very, very generous super chat as well. So big yourself up, TK. Hope you saved a little bit for the Ben & Jerry's tonight as well, because I hope we're getting a new sponsor along with Conte, supposedly. But TK says, "All right, lads, are we really going to get Conte and director of football? I will believe it once the contracts are signed. We'll want Lukaku if Kane goes, Hakimi and Skriniar as well. Get the deadwood out." I mean, TK, you're absolutely right. Get the deadwood out. You know, what's interesting about this is that, earlier I would say we couldn't even breathe near any rumor with Hakimi and Skriniar, but now I would say there's a solid chance, right? If they want to continue to work with Conte, if they want to continue to work under his reign, work under his wing, I mean, we have an absolute chance at getting some world-class players in the likes of Hakimi and Skriniar. So you're absolutely right. Personally, I don't want to see Kane go, but if he goes, I mean, Lukaku, I mean, what a replacement. I mean, what a replacement. But I mean, yeah, what do you guys think of TK's very generous super chat here?
Yeah, I love Hakimi. I'd love Hakimi to come in. I think he's brilliant. He can play a right wing back. He can play a right wing. He can play a right back. He's versatile down that right hand side. I think I've seen him when he came through at Real Madrid. I was a big fan.
But do you really think he says? Do you really think, you know? Do you really believe it? Like, that's what he says. He only believes it till the contract's is signed. You know, I kind of believe his skepticism. It's kind of like, you know, last week with Pochettino. You know, the earlier question. I mean, David, what do you think? Is it different this time? You know, maybe.
I genuinely believe this one.
Yeah,
I genuinely believe this one because look, they've lost Poch. Levy knows he can't afford to lose this one, and that's why I believe it this time. Yeah. He just simply cannot afford to let Conte slip through the grabs, especially if it's over assurances that there's money, right? If it comes out that Conte walked away because he's not been given the assurance to spend money, the fans are going to go and riot. They will lose their nut. And I don't blame them. I'd be pissed off as well. I'd be pissed off here in Ireland, stuck in the apartment. What can I do? You know what I mean? But, you know, the fans around Tottenham, honestly, there's going to be a lot of unhappy campers. And the reason why I believe this, I've seen Ali Gold put out a tweet, you know, just by reading behind the lines, I think it's going to happen. And like I said, Daniel Levy cannot afford to let this slip TK, not one bit. But big up for the super chat, man. What a legend.
Big up.
Everyone else. Sorry, go on, Bob.
I was going to say, big up to get. But it is like we said earlier, mate, isn't it? It's the Levy effect. Anybody else, any other club, under any other board, the news that's come out about Conte and Paratici will be like, yep, definitely, that's where they're going. That's right. The only reason we're questioning ourselves and other people are questioning it is because of Levy and his track record.
The thing is, on that, just talking about that, Conte had the opportunity to join Real Madrid, right? The biggest club in the world. Let's not get it twisted. 13 Champions League.
Oh, yeah.
God knows how many La Ligas. Why on earth, like, and I love Spurs. I love Tottenham to bits. I would die for Spurs. If it meant Spurs doing the treble, you know, I would do disgusting things that you don't want to know. Why on earth would you choose Tottenham over Real Madrid? Like, because they spoke to, believe it or not, they're apparent, according to a lot of reliable sources, they spoke to Conte and Jose before they got to Ancelotti. Like, that's such a random appointment. And Ancelotti, for me, has flopped this year at Everton. Yeah. I mean, he's been below par. Why wouldn't you go all out for Conte? Imagine if you give him the money, you'd win the Champions League again. Why would
they
you
haven't got any money though?
What'd you say?
I think it's probably the case of is the fact, and again, I can't believe I'm saying this, but maybe for a change, we've actually got a bit more money than what Real Madrid have to put in the transfer key.
Real Madrid's dropping a pound land this time.
That's it. We could probably back him. We're in a position probably where Levy and Enid could probably back him a bit more than what Real Madrid can. And if he wants to come in and he wants them assurances, let's be honest, Real Madrid successfully was absolutely massive, and they are a lot bigger, massive. But, you know, in the Premier League, we've got a bit of clout about ourselves, and that's not speaking from the heart as well. You know, we're one of the big six, remember? There you go. But I do think, all serious, all jokes aside, I think maybe for a change, we can probably give that backing to Conte. Probably Real Madrid can't this season, mate. I don't know. Maybe that's me being
do you on that? Go on, do the super chat and I'll ask you after.
Yeah, absolutely. We got a super chat from the American Hotspur, and he says, "Big up, guys! Finally here. Agree with Bob. Never forget what they did. The fans forced them to go big. Don't let up. Without backing, might as well hire the kit man. Get at me on Twitter. I mean, beautiful American Hotspur. I mean, might as well hire the kit man. You know, I think some kit men, you know, they like a little possession style, but beautiful super chat. Thank you so much, American Hotspur. Very generous of you.
Big up, mate.
Legend.
Hey, big up yourself, TK.
Big up, TK. Another one from TK. TK, yet again, TK.
Big up,
you got it, TK. You're taking us out to the Italian dinner. You're taking us out to Conte's, favorite restaurant. You're being way too generous tonight. Yeah, TK wants us eating tonight, and so I absolutely love it. Big yourself up, TK. Give yourself that physical pat on the back and make it hard as well. Legend. It's typical Tottenham to get our hopes high. I fear we are offering 11 million a year to Conte, but I believe he wants more. Levy won't back him, and I think it's a car crash waiting to happen. I'm actually surprised it's really only 11 million a year, because I think with Jose it was even more.
15, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was around
Conte
15
wants
million.
18 apparently. Apparently
Yeah.
behind closed doors, all the personal terms is wrapped up. It's literally just waiting to be announced.
Yeah. So, and you said it's supposed to be 18, Henry?
Yeah, so Mourinho was on 15 million with a bonus. If Mourinho would have won a trophy, he would have had a 5 million bonus.
5 million.
So TK, I'll tell you, is that supposed to be even more than 11 million a year, at Spurs in order to attract these kind of managers. I will say, you got to pay them the big bucks. You got to pay them more than anyone else in order to attract them to a club like ours. But personally, TK, I see this kind of rationalism, but, I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to be blind as a bat. I think Conte's leading us out of this cave. And I don't think it's a car crash personally.
I just want to say a massive thank you to TK for the super
really
chat.
Generous,
absolute legend, and great comments, my man. I really do appreciate it. You're being rational with your comments as well. Absolute legend. And I want to say a massive thank you to American Hotspur as well. The guy's funny. I do speak to him a bit on Twitter, and that he's a funny guy. And then we'll take Matthew Collins here, and then Jack crack on with a couple more questions, man, because you put the time and effort into them. I do want to get through them.
No problem, David. But absolutely, big yourself, TK. You're being very generous tonight, so big yourself up very much. Legend. And then Matthew Collins, yet again, he also sent a super chat earlier, so big yourself up, Matthew. Says, legend. No more shopping at Poundland. Now bring on shopping at Harrods. Big up all of you guys, legends. Harrods, maybe a bit of Sephora, for the upfront. You got to get a couple of makeup for the strikers as well. We got to be shopping big. And I absolutely agree with you, Matthew. It's no more Poundland mentality, no more 10 pounds in a bag of chips, anymore. We're shopping big. We're shopping at the big malls, not even the malls anymore. We're having somebody doing the shopping for us because we got a director of football now, Matthew. So, it's all coming together.
Is it Bloomingdale's in the States, which is quite a big, your version of Selfridges?
They're kind of nicer ones than Bloomingdale's. Yeah, it's like Nordstrom's is really nice.
It's still an upgrade on Poundland though. We're shopping in the tiniest, the best spag bowl restaurants you are ever going to see. The best pizza restaurants. None of this.
It's Tiffany's now.
Pound for a set of chips that you get in Sunderland and Newcastle. We're going for the finest.
Hey, some will say. Some will say going from Poundland to Tesco is a massive fucking jump for Levy. So,
get rid of some of these clowns. You get rid of. I'll tell you, honestly, back this man. Oh,
absolutely,
100%. But look, guys, I am conscious of cracking on with Jack's questions. He puts in so much every week, and sometimes we don't get through a lot of them. So I am conscious. We will get through more questions.
No problem, David. David, I'll bring this one to you now because and I asked Henry this in this kind of way last week. I remember. We said with Pochettino, right? He could take Sonny and Kane, to that nice Argentinian steakhouse, bring him the rack of lamb, bring him, the nice, beautifully cooked, 24-hour smoked meats. But with Conte, I think he's going to be bringing him. Conte's going to be bringing them the gnocchi to start with. He's going to be bringing them the beautiful salad. I mean, what do you? And then
salad. You talk to David here.
I like the Caesar salad, man. I don't mind the Caesar salad every now and again.
Yeah, nice vinaigrette, nice Conte vinaigrette, and then a beautiful Conte style tiramisu at the end. Could all of this whining and dining from Conte, could this all lure Kane and Sonny maybe to stay a few extra years or stay out their contracts at least?
Look, for me, I do think I think Son is staying. I think the contract is ready to be signed. With Harry Kane, I firmly believe Conte is keeping Harry. I firmly believe it, 100%. If Conte comes in and he gets it back and he can get in a few players and get a few players out, he's just as much chance of winning the league at Tottenham as he does any other Premier League team he's going to go to. Conte's system works. You can't argue that. Look at the amount of leagues he's won. His system works. He knows how to get the best out of his team. And look, it could be a situation, he's 3 years left on his contract. Levy, Conte just says to Levy, look, no matter what Kane says, tell me he's staying for 1 year. He's giving me that season. End of. And then over that season, we have a chance of persuading him to stay. That we're doing the right things and everything else. So, look, I firmly believe that Harry Kane will be kept. I really do believe it. I think if anyone could do it, it was either going to be Pochettino or Conte. So I'm happy. And look, I do believe that going for them two guys was in the view of trying to get Harry Kane to stay as well. Because, look, if you're bringing in the likes of Ten Hag, it has to be a full rebuild. Kane will go, it'll be a full rebuild. With Conte, with Harry Kane at the team, with Son at the team, you need to be bringing in the best managers to appease these guys. And if Conte comes in, I do think he'll stay. We'll just take the super chat from TK, and then we'll get Bob's and Henry's thoughts on it.
TK.
I'm just a Kane lover, so.
TK is just trying to take us all out to dinner tonight. So TK, I just hope you're saving some money for yourself to join us for dinner tonight, because really it seems like you're paying the whole bill and everything. So pick yourself up, TK. Really big yourself up, pat yourself on the back. So it's really incredible. Very generous of you. And TK says, well, clinging on to the hope we get Poch or Conte over the line. See you, lads. Love the chat. Back to the Ben and Jerry's for me. I mean, TK, that's what I need to hear. I'm so glad that you saved a little bit of Ben and Jerry's.
Before you go, you have to let us know what flavor.
Yeah,
that's the rule.
TK, you got to let us know what the flavor is.
Cookie dough. Has to be cookie dough.
Cookie dough, man. You know, maybe he's a bit of, Cherry Garcia was mentioned last time. You know, no one knew about the Cherry Garcia. So let us know, TK. But I'm so thankful that you saved some Ben and Jerry's.
Remember the last time we were speaking about this? I had the caramel choo-choo. I didn't like it. Yeah. Did not enjoy it. No. So from now on, I'll be sticking to cookie dough or chocolate fudge brownie. But big up TK. But before you go, you have to. It's the rule. It's the golden rule.
Yeah,
you have to let me know what you're having. You have to let me know what you're having.
Yeah.
And Matthew Collins says, once I do my Spurs story, watch out, Alex. Joking. I can't wait for Matthew Collins. I mean, I just need Alex, Alex Spurs stories, just Alex. I mean, shout out Alex. I hope Alex is happy about the Conte appointment. Hope he maybe is dreaming of maybe Ben Davies being revitalized.
I was speaking to him earlier.
No, he's not. Maybe I was thinking he might think Ben Davies might be revitalized or something like that, or Harry Winks might find a new role, because maybe we could all be happy under Conte. But if Alex, you're not happy under Conte, I'm not sure what to tell you, but big up Alex.
It's not that he's not happy. Let me rephrase that. He's not sure. That's the best way of putting it. He has the fear that I suppose a lot of people that wanted Josie out would have. That are we going back into the same trap? That's the fear he has.
Not in a million years. To answer this question, when's the last time Jose won a league title?
Yeah.
Before Chelsea, when's the last time he won a league title? Conte won three in a row with Juventus, including 2 Coppa Italias. He went to Chelsea when they were in the mud. They were 10th, wins the league title. He goes to Inter Milan when they were 4th, wins the league title. What's the common denominator here? The manager. Back this man. Echo it. You've got to do it. If anyone tells me this man is like Jose Mourinho, watch them on the touchline. Conte is running up and down. He wants to be on the pitch.
And let's not forget. And let's not forget, Henry. Remember that game against Arsenal? We played 4 at the back and they lost 3-0, and he thought, "Fuck this." Get right. There he is. I remember he thought, I ain't having this anymore. And he changed 3 at the back after that game. And from then on, they won, what was it, about 11, 13 games in a row, something stupid like that. And he changed it and they won the league. And I think they lost the 3 of the first 5 games. And I think that they got thrashed by Arsenal. And he thought, Alex is in the house.
How is any of that rubbish?
Look, I'll bring Alex on another day. And you and Alex and whoever else wants to come on and debate with Alex can all sit there and debate. That's what we'll do. But look, back to Jack's question, guys. Harry Kane, is Conte enough to keep him? Is Conte enough to keep him?
Bob, can Conte? I mean, is there a restaurant in mind that can convince Son and Kane to come through for the next few seasons? Do you have anything in mind? Any type of meal, any type of entree that might woo them over?
For me, what worries me more about Kane, I think Kane's got the rightful mind to sit down with Conte and discuss with him and have a general conversation with him and the ins and outs. Right, Antonio, where are we going to go with this? Where are we there? And Conte will probably say to Kane, what is it do you want? Where's your vision? And they'll have another conversation. With Son, he's very, very motivated or led by his father and the people around him. And for me, he worries me more than what Kane does. The contract, so-called contract, it doesn't take this long to sign a contract, and that worries me a lot more. And financially, that worries me a bit more because I think the financial clout that Sonny brings in, not just his wages, but in merchandise and revenue from overseas, especially Asia, is massive, absolutely massive. So for me, and his loss of form towards the end of the season probably says his mind somewhere else. So for me, it's actually Sonny that worries me more than Kane, because I think Kane, once he sits down with Conte, could have a change of heart and probably give another season. With Sonny, I think to an extent, no matter what Conte says, if his advisors, if his dad says something else, and there's big voices from Asia saying, Sonny, you need to get out of that shithole. And he's likely to be led by them than what Conte or Levy says, whereas I say there's a bit more chance with Kane. So for me, Sonny's a bigger worry than Kane.
Henry, I'll ask you: Does Conte have that charisma? Does he have that wine and dine in him to kind of win back over the hearts of Kane and Son?
Well, there's one stat that will blow everyone's mind. Conte has won 5 league titles in the last 7 years. Can any other manager compete with that? That we're looking for. If he sits down with Kane and goes, "This is what I want to do at this football club. I've brought in this director of football. This is our vision." Does Kane stay? He's been told the only situation. Just to clarify, Dean Webb, that is not clickbait. He has signed personal terms. Trust me, it will be announced tomorrow. It's the season ticket renewal. It's written in the stars. Trust me, he will sign tomorrow. And if he doesn't, I'll come out and make a video and apologise. But the only situation we've got with Harry Kane is how many times has he been told, we're going to do this, we're going to do that? He's got to be sitting there going, right, Man City, Champions League final, Premier League winners, League Cup winners. I'm guaranteed a trophy. I haven't even got a cap. I'm going to put my glasses on. we are. The situation is, I think Son's gone, to be honest. I'm not going to lie to you. I think Son's gone. I don't think he's going to stay. He would have signed the contract 6 months ago.
Don't say that, Henry.
No, I think there's wingers out there that we could potentially buy. They're not going to replace Son straight away, but you got to remember he's a purple patch player. He can be absolutely unbelievable, and the next month he doesn't do anything.
Yeah, but Henry, with the thing with Son though, as well, though, can you replace the shirt sales as well, though, because you sometimes have to take that in consideration. Like, there really is no better player to sell shirts than that of Son. Maybe other than Ronaldo, I'm not even kidding. He's practically, if not already, the best player from Asia, best Korean player, maybe already ever. I mean, I think he's kind of a must stay. I think you almost do whatever it takes to. But
it's eventually going to leave anyway, isn't he, Jack? It's going to leave one day. So why not? Why not at the beginning of the cycle? The cycle. Why not at the beginning of the cycle, then halfway through it? If one of them if Sonny was to go, I don't know what Henry thinks, but if Sonny was to go, I'd rather him go at the beginning of the cycle, so we don't have to build a team around him, and then he eventually fit into a system. So, mate, if he goes, bring in Neto. Go for Neto.
Good point.
Just quickly before you do the super chat, Son. I don't know if any of you saw Chris Callan's interview with Fabrizio Romano. Fab did actually say Son is not going to leave. He loves his football club. He will sign in the summer. Now, the issue is, if you bring in someone like Neto, who has longevity on his side and he's young, long term he could replace Son.
Yeah,
but like you said a minute ago, he's not instantly going to replace his numbers. Yeah. So we have got a catch-22 here. We can either buy someone like Wilfred Zaha, who could maybe get some of the numbers, not the same numbers, but kind of in his prime years, and then buy a younger player to develop, or we keep Son and we buy other players around him. But this always comes down to the same question.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. Yeah. Fair point made from both of you. Absolutely. Nigel Gates with the super chat, and Nigel Gates, big yourself up. And he says, if Conte signs first day of transfer window, he needs to dump some rubbish and bring in some big names. Then he can talk to Kane and Son. I mean, maybe you're right. He actually probably has to bring in some real signings to prove to Kane and Sonny that there is a reason to stay. There is a path to winning something here. I think you're absolutely right, Nigel. Maybe that is actually the right order of things.
That's a great point by Nigel. Yeah. And look, I just want to say it's great to have everybody putting in the super chats and the comments you do, because look, at the end of the day, all we are is we just speak our truth. We're not gospel. We just speak what's on our minds. And sometimes we don't see things, and it's great that you keep putting in the comments and everything else the way you do. Because sometimes it broadens our horizons. So Nigel Gates, absolute great super chat, my man. I appreciate it.
100%.
And then someone's triggered Alex. Can I take this one?
Of course.
Alex D. He says, "What is your expectations next season with Conte?" Again, sorry, Henry, if it came out my comment earlier. No, look. First of all, I am going to hand it over to Henry, Alex. But look, the don't be afraid to upset anybody. You're entitled to your opinions, Alex, and that's why we love you. That's why I think you're so funny. You know I have great time for you, Alex. So don't worry about upsetting anybody. We're all men here, man. We're all men here. But Henry, I suppose you may give him an answer.
Yeah, I mean, like no one's going to upset me. That's the brilliant thing about football. It's I've picked different people's opinions.
Yeah.
What is my expectations for next season? At an absolute bare minimum will be win the UEFA Conference League. At an absolute bare minimum, if you bring in Conte, my expectation will be to get rid of some of the deadwood, not all of it. You're not going to get rid of 15 players overnight. It's going to take a building process. But he's got to bring in a commanding centre-back. That's my expectation. Bring in a commanding centre-back and get a structure to the way we play and potentially get back into the top 4. But the conference has got to be, I mean, look at the teams in it. Roma, Rennes, Union Berlin. Is anyone out there going, we want to avoid them? Union Berlin.
No, the third-base Champions League teams dropped down, though.
Yeah,
but it's 4th. So it's going to be teams like Slavia Prague, teams like Club Bruges. It's not going to be. It's not going to be a Real Madrid in the
young boys. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, to be fair, we got knocked out by Dynamo Zagreb, but this is with the Godfather in charge.
For me, for next season, all I want to see is progression. Now, fortunately, the way we've ended last season, there's a massive scope to progressing. I want to see an identity. I want to see a direction in play. I want to see a bit more attacking. I want to see a progression within the league positions. I want to see a progression within the cups as well. I want to see progression from the board. I want to see progression within the players. We've got massive scope to actually progress in, and if Conte can bring any form of progression, then it will be a domino effect. Progression in style, identity, direction will result in better players, will result in better play, will result in better results, will result in a higher position and most likely a cup. So for me, it's all about progression. That's what I expect from Conte is progression
100.
within the team, within the club, not just a team, within the club.
Yeah. No, 100%. Fully agree with you. But look, that is actually a question I want Jack to answer because he's a big fan of Conte. But first, we'll take TK's super chat, and then Jack, I want you to answer what you expect from the season.
Yeah, absolutely. But TK, I mean, everybody in the chat, big up TK, big up all the super chatters for their generosity tonight, and also just big up yourselves, everybody in the chat who's tuned in tonight. It's been an absolutely insane show. It's been off the chain with the super chats. It's just been off the chain.
Reaction to this show is unbelievable.
It's been incredible. So
it's
everybody big yourselves up. I'll pat each other's on the back, give a couple of Italian kisses to each other as well. But with TK, he's gone with cookie dough. And I think that's just a class decision. It's like with Conte, you're going to win titles with cookie dough. It's always going to, it's a solid back line. It's a solid flavor. It's a solid style of play. And so you're absolutely right, TK. Classy choice. He says, I think Son will stay. He loves the club. For Asian market, bring Daichi Kamada from Frankfurt and creative midfielder, 5 goals, 14 assists. With Daichi, he's absolutely a baller. I would love to have him from Frankfurt. If we could steal him away from there, I think that would be class. He did kind of just break out, I feel like, this season. So maybe Frankfurt is probably thinking about holding on to him. But then again, they did miss out on European football when they absolutely had it within their grasp. So maybe he might be a little hard done by for that. I think Daichi Kamada is a solid shout out. I'm also very interested in Pedro Gonçalves from Sporting CP. I think he had like 19 goals, 3 assists. But absolutely, Kamada is a huge shout out, and TK solid choice on the cookie dough as well, mate.
Yeah, great. Look, great choice on the cookie dough. What an absolute legend you are. Cookie dough is the only way to go for me. If there's no cookie dough, I tend to settle for the chocolate fudge brownie. But big up, man. To be honest, I don't know too much about Kamada. I know Jack does. Jack knows about everything about every player. I hope you enjoyed what Jack had to say. A big up, TK, great choice. And just quickly, before you get on to that other super chat there from Matthew, there's a lad in the comments called Bishesh Satpate, and he's just basically slagging us because he's a Chelsea fan. He's slagging us because we're excited to be in the UEFA Conference League. First of all, what I will say is I hope your club crash, burns and dies. I absolutely hate Chelsea. Second of all, you mustn't hate Tottenham too bad if you are in the stream. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah. Third of all, while you're here, make sure you smash and subscribe on the Irish Hotspur, bobspur TV, Henry Wright TV, and Matty Hayes. And also go and subscribe to, or go and follow Jack Kineke on Twitter. And as well, you know, I'm not going to lie. I'll take any sort of Europe. You know, I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. As soon as Europa Conference League comes around, I'm going to sit here with a smile on my face and watch my team playing them sexy white jerseys. Better than your horrible blue jersey, anyway. So thank you so much. Just make sure you subscribe.
I'll tell you what's more hilarious is someone who's, it looks like it's about 12 on 10 minutes past midnight and finding time out of his very precious life.
Mammy would be angry. We'll have to get in contact and get her to turn off his internet. I think that's what we'll have to do.
That's it. You know, coming onto a Spurs channel just to watch us and comment. I just want to say thank you, Ashish, you know, to coming and taking time from obviously you were in bed for 6 o'clock to waking up, coming onto the stream and taking a time out of your life to put a comment in. So from bottom of my heart and everybody's heart, thank you.
And what I'll also say to Josh as well is that, and I saw it with a guy named Manny, but Manny, you know, he was saying big up the show, so also big up to you, Manny. But a lot of these guys in the chat are, you know, I think that, you know, the reason they're here is they're just jealous that we got Conte, that we, you know, we're stealing the man, right? Yeah. We're stealing the Italian stallion. I think they're actually jealous because they actually are scared now that Spurs are going to start winning things, and now, you know, the jokes won't be as funny to them. You know, the players that we might be getting will be stealing the Skriniars, will be stealing the Hakimis of the world. And I honestly just think they're getting a little scared now. So to be honest, I understand you, Bishesh. I'd be scared as well. So, I mean, big up, though. Please like and subscribe, though, to all the Conte content that's about to come out. So please like and subscribe to the Irish Hotspur.
Get a hug from Mummy, mate. That might help you. Yeah. And if there's not we'll have to
get in contact with Mummy. We'll have to just get her to you know, cut his internet off. You know, he's probably a maths exam in school in the morning. You know, so we'll just have to have a word with Mummy and get him grounded, I think. But big up Matthew Collins. The only thing I'm going to say here is I'm not a fan of the caramel Matthew. But I'm with you all the way on Cookie Dough, man. Maybe next time we're over, maybe we can sit there romantically outside the Hotspur Stadium, Matthew, and share a tub of Ben and Jerry's Cookie Dough. Who knows?
That's going to give me
two more super chats I do want to get to. But before we answer this, I want to bring Jack in because I know he's a massive, massive fan of Conte. He's the first person I text as soon as I've seen it. I know he's admired Conte a long time. What do you expect Conte to do when he comes in?
You know, to be honest,
at the end of the season?
The first thing I expect him doing is, you know, I could see him getting more yellow cards than half the players on our team, and that's just going to be the first thing I'm just going to be so excited about. That's my favorite thing about him is just when I've watched Conte, I'm not even been a fan of really any of the clubs that he's been at in the past. I'm not a Juve fan, and I'm sort of I guess I'm more Inter than I am Milan, but don't really care for either. It's just that man, he wins. He's almost like the blue collar manager. He just wins you over. And it's just the passion. It's the intensity. It's just the no excuses. It's the no tolerance for no effort. It's just, he's absolutely incredible. He is my Italian stallion. He just has that beautiful glint in his eye of craziness. You know, and it's those piercing blue Mediterranean eyes that really just show how ridiculously insane he is. Because when he is screaming at his players, you can just tell that the fire is literally inside his pupils. That's growing inside of him. And he's also, I mean, tactically, I love a good three in the back. Personally, I think a three in the back actually makes a lot of center backs look a lot better than they really are. I think it actually minimizes a lot of mistakes. And to be honest, with Antonio Candreva, one of my favorite players of all time, what he got out of him on the right wing at Inter is just absolutely glorious. And so, I mean, and the last thing but not least, I mean, he almost left the Premier League with that incredible interview where he shouted out and called out every Premier League manager, you know, all the fans that doubted him, every single person that doubted him. And if you don't think that is a man that I want back, I mean, I'm sorry, but that man, I'm going to be standing up for every game. I don't even know if I'll be sitting down. I might as well just get rid of this new couch that I got because I'm not even be using it anymore. So that's what I'll say.
100%. Just quickly,
the way you explained,
honestly, I just want to say I wasn't laughing at you, Jack. This comment is top quality. Top quality. Oh my God, man. What a legend. Sorry, but we will. Sorry, Bob. Come in there and then we have two super chats to get to. Three super chats to get to.
The way Jack's just described Conte, you know, the glint in his piercing blue eyes and the fire in the eyes and the way he puts himself across is exactly the way I describe my missus. Everything apart from the three in the back.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this is what I'll tell you. When I studied in Berlin, there's a pizza restaurant, there's an Italian restaurant right beneath me, and it was just full of these Italians, and they were all from Lecce, and they all just worship the feet that Conte walks on. You know, they wanted to take me to his birthplace. They wanted to show me where he was from. They wanted to show me the market that he went to growing up. And so, I mean, that's all I'll say. I mean, the Italians in Berlin, they all love him. He's a figurehead. He's a messiah. He really is the Italian stallion. And like a lot of Italians, they're all crazy and they all speak sense. So, I mean, that's all that you need to say, really.
You got a super chat here, mate.
Yeah, sorry, mate. Awesome. I almost got a little caught up there in my romance for Antonio. Yeah, but exactly. Awesome. He says, I don't want no progression. That's the problem. Stop limiting ourselves. I don't want top 6, not top 4. I want Premier League winning, period. Champions League Cup, my expectations. I mean, awesome. I would say after season 1, that's what I'm looking for. Maybe after season 1, give him a little time to, settle in. Give a little time for Harry to settle in, to be won over by the Italian charisma. And then, the season after that, we're going to be winning everything.
Yeah, 100% awesome. Fully agree with you. He's a true Will's Rangers as well. He does be on Will's show a lot. So big up, awesome. I really do appreciate the super chat. And 100% I agree with him.
Big up, awesome. Very generous. And Kieran Key says, Daichi, Kamada, Takafusa, Kubo would be a good buy. Yeah, they're a little bit different positions, absolutely, Kieran, but definitely very marketable players. I would love to have a little bit of also the Japanese market as well, but also just 2 terrific footballers as well. With the case of Kamada, a bit more of a 10, and with Kubo, maybe a bit more of a right winger, left-footed. But yeah, absolutely agree with you. And then Romario Coys says, If Levy shows ambition, backs a manager, and lets Fabio Paratici build a good enough squad to compete, I have no doubt that Kane and Son will give us another season, but it's all up to Levy and ENIC. I mean, Romario, you're exactly right, because, I'm getting a little excited with Conte, thinking just him, just his own human self could win over Kane and Son. But no, it does need a couple of signings. It needs a couple of extra steps from Levy and ENIC to just show that we're going in the right direction, especially for the likes of Kane and Son. And I think probably you guys want to say something about this as well.
Yeah, let one of your lads come in there.
Go on, Henry.
Sorry, I was looking at some of the news.
You're grand. Yeah. I'll come in. I'll cover you on this one, Henry. Don't worry. Look, he has to show ambition. He has to back the manager. Sorry, I'm not going to say the name. I got called into earlier on. I'm not 100% up to the pronunciation. I think Matty said it was Paratici or something.
Paratici, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. Build a good enough squad to compete. I have no doubt that Kane and Son will give us another season. Yeah, 100%. Look, bringing in the sporting director and Conte, it's a match made in heaven. Just need the money to go with it now. And I just want to let everyone know there is money there. They made a profit over the pandemic, and they can still sell the name rights to the stadium as well. So there should be money there. But big up Romario for the super chat, absolute legend. And big up Matthew Collins here as well. Jack, you're the guy for the players, so do you want to give Matthew an answer there? And then what we'll do is we'll take one more question from Jack, and then we'll end off the show because we're already going 2 hours 15.
Absolutely. He says, Matthew Collins, big yourself up for all the super chats tonight, by the way. So really pat yourself on the back and let us know what the Ben & Jerry's tonight flavor is. And he says, what about Inter striker Martinez, Lautaro Martinez? With Lautaro, I think he's absolute quality. I think he is a striker for the future. To be honest, if Kane were leaving, I would rather have Lukaku if Kane were leaving. But then again, if Kane is staying and Son is staying, and we can pull in a Lautaro as well, I mean, that would be absolutely brilliant. So, I mean, absolutely any of the players Conte wants to take with him, I'd be happy by me. Really, any of them.
100%. I just want to say a massive quickly before we get on to Jack's last question. I want to say a massive thank you to everybody for the super chats today. Honestly, they have been off the chart. They have been insane. Yeah. They've been going for the full 2 hours and 15 minutes. It's insane. You guys are incredible. Honestly, I want to say from the bottom of my heart, I really do appreciate it. You guys are the ones that really do keep me going, keep helping me, keep doing this, achieve my dream, and keep going full time and all the way through the summer into next season. You are the guys. I want to say a massive, massive thank you to everybody. A massive thank you to everybody. Honestly, you have no idea how much I really do appreciate everything. You're all so kind. Jack, let's take the last question, my man.
Absolutely. But yeah, like David said, big yourselves all up for the super chats. You've been really, really generous tonight. And it's really helped, with the Conte rumors and everything. I think it's just made tonight a wonderful evening. And yeah, so big yourselves all up. And everybody that's just been in the chat, we've had 400, 500 plus people watching. So really everybody big yourselves up in the chat. And everybody in the chat, everybody that's in there, let us know what Ben & Jerry's you're eating. Let us know what Haagen-Dazs you're having. Let us know what flavors you're eating. Let us know if it's chocolate, if it's a nice Italian tiramisu. Let us know what you're having tonight, because everybody deserves some dessert.
And just quickly, Zachary, usually 9:30 every night, my man. Usually 9:30 every night. Just come into the Irish Hotspur. There's only usually 1 or 2 nights I don't stream at 9:30, but most nights you'll find me at 9:30, my man.
I mean, we could take Robert Palmer's here maybe for the last question if you like.
Yeah.
Last question. I mean, Robert Palmer, here you go. I mean, we're putting you on the spot when I'm going to ask the whole panel from it. So, Robert, big yourself up for the super chat. And Robert says, which players would excel in Conte's 3-5-2? And I'm assuming he means in our system, or the players that we have in our depth. Which players would? I'll go to Bob maybe first. I'll go to Bob first. I mean, we answered this right where we said Tanguy needs to improve. Tanguy would be vital, but let's maybe someone else, maybe other than also maybe the wing backs even. Like, who do you see, maybe possibly thriving in this Conte system?
I mean, I'll say Højbjerg, but it's kind of thriving already. It's I don't know. I think Skippy's going to have a big role as well. With obviously we'll have the wing backs, and then we'll have the 3 in midfield. And I wouldn't be surprised if Højbjerg, Skippy, and Dembele are the 3 in midfield. I think the Skip and Højbjerg will give that defensive cover. Not that we'll probably need that with 3 at the back. Skippy has played on the front foot for a few times for Norwich this season. I completely understand it's a different ball game, but do we need 2 with the pivot? We're playing 3-5-2. I don't think we'll probably do. So I don't know. There's Ndombele, Højbjerg, and it's the other player who's going to play. Lo Celso, I know I'm a bit like Henry as well. I'm not too sure about him, but with the right manager around him, with him building up that stamina, with staying away from injuries, who knows? I mean, the only reason we're looking, for me, in Lo Celso, I'm looking. I want prime Dele Alli in that. I'm looking at prime Dele Alli in a Lo Celso, and I believe that Lo Celso's got it within him to be a bit more better than Dele Alli. But it's a fresh start for everyone. It's a fresh start for everyone, isn't it? The 2 up front, we know who's going to play in the 2. I think midfield, whoever comes into that midfield has got the chance to progress and show what they're made of, and 2 of them I believe will be Ndombele, Højbjerg, and the 3rd possibly Lo Celso, possibly even Ali. You never know, but for me, Ali's probably had his time.
Henry, who do you see? Is it a center half? Would it be maybe someone in that Asamoah kind of role, someone in that Victor Moses role, maybe someone in that Marquisio role? Like, who do you see maybe thriving in this Conte system?
First of all, Marquisio, what a player he was.
Wow.
This Conte system is built all around his wing backs. When he was at Chelsea, Alonso was very good. Ashley Young and Moses very good. So personally, I think, I can't believe I'm saying this, I think Reguilon, before his injury, he was very good for us. And it looked like everything was going down that side. When you attack, you've got 5 midfielders because your 2 wingers are basically fullbacks. And when you defend, you drop back into a 5. So, it's really frustrating because when we signed Doherty from Wolves, he was excellent at Wolves. 3rd most created chances and goals and assist contributions. He comes to us and he goes into an absolute dross. Like, we've signed someone from, I can't remember is it Tranworth Rovers, the team in Ireland?
Yeah.
We've signed someone from there. No offense, David. But, we need to get more out of Doherty and out of, if it is going to be the right back. Obviously, Aurier looks like he's on. Maybe bring in Max Aarons or someone like that. The wing backs are key to this. I'm pretty sure that we're going to get maybe an Anderson in the summer. And you've got an Anderson, Japhet Tanganga, maybe Roden or another centre-back. So you're going to be pretty sound there with the protection of the Viking, Højbjerg. But it's also getting the ball into that playmaker, because that playmaker is going to be starving for the ball. So if you bring in a Buendia, you bring in maybe a Grealish, depends how overboard they want to go. The wing backs are key. With that, if the wing backs don't play well, it's game over.
But Henry, looking at Moses and looking at Ashley Cole, don't you think Bergwijn's got a chance at right wing back? Especially when we talked about him being so defensively getting up and down under Jose.
Perisic into a left back. He's turned
Exactly.
Victor
The
Moses.
thing is, with Bergwijn, he is a good defensive winger, but it's not all that. It's what you can do in the final third. And for me, Bergwijn, one goal in 25 games or something crazy. I personally think Doherty would do a better job. And I feel like maybe Antonio Conte could reinstall that into him. Because all Mourinho was doing was slating him and putting him down. He's going to want to come in and go, right, who are the leaders in this dressing room? Harry Kane said in his interview with Gary Neville, Mourinho didn't feel like he had a leader in the dressing room. So someone's got to step up and say, you know, like Roy Keane, you're not playing good enough. Sort yourself out. You can help us win this. You know, he knocked out Gabriel Hines in a dressing room. Like, that's the sort of leader we fucking need. Bring someone in. Bring in an Italian. Bring in someone like Daniele De Rossi, but like young version, who's an absolute leader who's going to give everything.
Verratti. Bring a Verratti in.
Bring in I don't even know, someone who's going to give everything for this man. Because I don't want him to come in and be an absolute failure like Mourinho and get ripped apart because he's in his prime and he deserves better. He can't come in and get the absolute dross that he's probably going to get.
Asama here again. Here again.
Just quickly before we take Asama's super chat, Jack, I would actually like to hear your thoughts on what Rob Palmer put in. You're the Conte fan, so you should be able to predict these lineups.
Yeah, I could see it being. It depends on who we sign at center back, but with the squad we currently have, I would go Toby, Tanganga, Rodon. Toby is more that it's almost like that De Vrij kind of role or that David Luiz kind of role within the system of the three. And then on the right, I would maybe go for. To be honest, I would go for Steven Bergwijn or like a Lucas Moura on the right, whoever is willing to work the hardest and push forward. And then I would go for Sergei on the left. And then in the midfield three, I would have Højbjerg as part of that Matic kind of Brozovic role. And then I would have Tanguy as the Pogba role. And then as the Marquisio role, gosh.
Have to sign someone.
You have to sign somebody. Yeah, I don't even want to put Gio there, and I can't put Dele there either. And really, anybody, you got to sign somebody. Put there. Maybe Ollie Skip for now. Ollie Skip in that Marquisio role. And then up top, it's got to be Kane and Sonny. And then going to Asma here, who says, I know a lot about Conte. He's going to play the 3-4-1-2. He plays the 3-4-1-2 when he has a bit more. He played it with Pedro and Hazard and Diego Costa, but at the moment he's doing more that 3-5-2. And I would say he drops into the 3-4-1-2 when he brings on the likes of like Alexis Sanchez or Matteo Politano. So right now it's a bit more of a 3-5-2, but you're exactly right, Asma. He's able to flex into that 3-4-1-2 depending on what he has available. So that's also exactly right. And then Matthew Collins, I've heard that Moon Boots has received a call up by NASA. I mean, to be honest, I think, NASA, that's kind of like the Premier League, of space football. So to be honest, I could see him more in kind of like maybe more like the Russian NASA or the, like Sputnik kind of leagues. To be honest, I think he needs to develop more before I would say he goes to NASA. But absolutely, Matthew.
We buy any rocket.com. That's where he's from.
Big up, Matthew. Absolutely love the jokes. But look, guys, we are going to end off here. I'm going to give all the guys a chance to plug their channel. We've been going 2.5 hours now. Again, I apologize, Jack. We didn't get through all the questions. I do apologize. But, the questions you bring, they create such debate. They create such talking points. They're insane. I want everybody in the comment section to honestly get in and give your appreciation to Jack, Bob, Henry, and Matty. Let us know what you thought of the show. Let us know what you want to see us talk about next. Get in the comments and let us know. And then just quickly, we'll take this from Rob Palmer, and then we will go around the panel and let everyone plug themselves.
Robert Palmer, I loved your super chat earlier in this one as well. He says, think Dele would be rejuvenated in a front two. His best form was in that system under Poch. I know Son and Kane are the main two, but good to have options. This is exactly what I think has been the case for Dele, to be honest. Like, the only way I could see Dele, maybe me giving him a second chance, is if he's considering to work hard as that second striker, almost kind of like what Griezmann has been in the past under Giroud. Different types of player, different type of speed and everything, but he does play well as that second striker, playing right off the number 9. And if he wants to move to that, I think that would be the best thing for him. And it worked perfectly under Poch, but that's what I see as maybe being his best position. You're absolutely right, Robert.
100%. Big up Rob Palmer for the super chat. Guys, while the lads are plugging their channels, make sure you do smash a like on this channel. Make sure you smash a subscribe on the channel if you're new. And also feel free to get your super chats in and show your appreciation for the stream. But most importantly, while the lads are plugging their channels, please get in the comments and let us know how much you appreciate them. But look, we're going to start with Bob and we're going to work our way backwards. Bob, where can people find you and what can they expect from your great channel, man?
Yeah, bobspur TV. I do. Would love to, Yasin. Yeah, I'll do bobspur TV. At the moment, I'm doing a weekly show called Four in the Wall. Did my first episode on Monday. I'm doing one on Monday night where I think Dave was on a bit earlier in the day, and it's had fantastic feedback. I was being an R-ing to do episode 2, but I definitely will be with the feedback and the viewings I've had. I'll bring a fan on, and then 3 or 4 other YouTubers and just talk about football. Doesn't have to be Spurs related, but normally it is, and just chill out. It's a chill out vibe, talking about stuff, take the piss out of each other, having a bit of banter and opinions. And suffice to say, whenever there's big breaking news, I'll be doing a stream and getting some of the lads on. I just want to say on a side note as well, I did a show a few weeks ago about protests and the effects of protests, etc. And obviously our protest. But another big protest that has really come to the fore of late is the BLM, the Black Lives Matter. And it was such a shame to see when the guys took the knee today and the Austrian fans booing. It kind of did take me back a bit. And not that I want to finish the show on a sour note or a bad note, but it just shows how much we still need to do with regards to certain messages out there. And yeah, it took me back, as in back in time. But fortunately, I saw the England fans standing up and clapping and trying to, voice out the booings. Yeah. But it was just a shame. Shit game, by the way. We were absolutely rubbish. And Sabitzer had a good game, which was always good. Some player's name that we're not mentioned of late. But yeah, it's a long way ahead. But that's, I guess, what protests are there for.
No, 100%. And everybody, make sure you get over and check out bobspur TV. He is an absolute legend. He's putting out great content. He's growing more and more by the week. He's going to be catching up me very, very soon, I can tell you that. So make sure you get on to Bob's channel early and make sure you be a part of his journey because he's only going places. I can promise all the Harris Army that. Just quickly, Awesome Eye says 3 at the back, Toby Roden and Tanganga. With Reggie as a wing back, Højbjerg, Skip, Aurier as the other wing back, Stevie B, and then Kane, Son, and Skylar. Big up, Awesome Eye. Yeah. No, look, that's a good team. Minus Aurier. I'll 100% take that team, my man. 100%.
Aurier in the Paratici role.
Big yourself up. Guys, want to say thank you to everybody. The comments coming in is insane. Keep them going. Let us know how much you enjoyed it. But Henry, why don't you tell everyone where they can find you, my man?
Yes, obviously on YouTube it's Henry Wright TV, Instagram and Twitter Henry Wright TV. Put out a lot of content recently because, as you can probably tell, suited and booted, I am slightly excited for, the Godfather to make his appearance at N17. I also do the THFC show, which does very well every Tuesday with a few other guests. Try and get on as many people as I can, but just putting out content around Spurs. But also, before we all plug all of our stuff, you have to go over to the Irish Hotspur in this stream.
Nah, forget about me, man. This is your time. You have the viewers here. Take the opportunity.
No, it's not my time because I've come on here and you normally, you and Matt together just absolutely obliterate my sub. I mean, Matt the other night, it was ridiculous, and you always do well, so you deserve a shout out as well. So obviously, shout out to you. But yeah, it's Henry Wright TV. If you want to subscribe, feel free. But yeah,
no, look, Henry puts out great content as well. He's a good character as well. And if you've enjoyed what he has to say here today, make sure you get over and check out Henry Wright TV and make sure you smash that subscribe button. Another guy that's on the move. He's making big moves. And Henry, keep it up. And if you don't forget, if you've liked what Bob has to say, bobspur TV. The link for bobspur TV and Matt is in the description below, along with what Jack's going to plug now as well. It's all in the description below. You don't even have to type it in. Just get on it and, get over and smash that subscribe button. Henry, unfortunately, your link isn't in because you weren't supposed to be on the show, But everybody, Henry Wright TV, make sure you get over and check it out. But Jack, where can people find you, my man?
Yeah, absolutely. People can find me, especially on Friday night, they can find me over at Tottenham Away. I'm doing a show called Jack Knows What, especially with the two Brians, Brian Ireland, Brian Daigle. Please go over to Tottenham Away and tune for Friday night. Go subscribe there, and you can find me for a Jack Knows What episode where I'm going to find some revelation or stat or something that might make you feel either sadder or better about Spurs. Usually it's one or the other, but go check me out there on Friday at Tottenham Away. And go check me out on Twitter as well. Please feel free to send me a DM if you need help with anything content-wise. If you need someone to help with a stream or somebody just to ask questions to, please feel free to at me or direct message me even, really. So please follow me over at Jack Kineke as well, and I think that's in the description. And then please, you can also find me at Irish Hotspur as well. You can always find me here as well and at Tottenham Way, so you can find me at both places easily.
No, 100%. Honestly, guys, I just want to put this on record. Jack, honestly, this guy, since he's come on board with me, he's took shows to a new level. It's shown with views. It's shown with the super chats. It's shown with the comments coming in. He's took it to a new level. Jack, I personally want to take this opportunity to say thank you so much for the way you have helped me. I really do appreciate it. I really do. The questions you come up with, man, this show is off the chain. Since we started this, it's just getting better and better. So keep coming with them questions, Jack. You're a great man, and everybody else, get over, check. Hit up Jack. Stats with Jack is coming next season on this channel as well. Don't forget about that. I also want to give bobspur credit for the thumbnails lately. I even got a message earlier on, someone saying, your thumbnail game has gone to the next level. Disclaimer, I do not make them. Bob makes them all. Bobspur is the man for thumbnails. So anyone wants thumbnails, you know what I mean? Get over and check out Bob. I'm sure he'll be doing a business with it very, very soon. He's that good at it. But honestly, guys, it's been insane. I want to say a massive thank you to you, the Harris Army, for tuning in. We've carried over 400 people, up to 500 people at one stage, all stream. It's been insane. I want to say thank you to you guys. Honestly, I want to say a massive thank you to all the super chatters. It's been off the hook today. It's been off the hook ever since, the feature came on the channel. I want to say thank you so much. You guys are helping me achieve my dream of doing this full time, helping you do it full time. And these shows, although I say it's nothing without these guys on camera, which is true, it's nothing without you guys putting in the comments and everything else the way you do and supporting not only me, but Bob, Henry, Matt Hayes as well, and every other Spurs content creator. Without you guys supporting us, this doesn't happen, because it's very demotivating when you don't have the views and everything else like that. So you guys play a massive part. I also want to echo what Jack has said. I know there's a lot of people that go through things. If anyone ever wants to just talk about or have someone to talk to or anything, do not hesitate to reach out at me. All my links are below. I will always message people back. There's a lot of people in the Harris Army that know that already and can vouch for that. So don't ever be afraid to hit me up. And I'm sure it's the same with all these guys here. I'm sure it's the same with all of them. We're all good lads, all genuine lads that try to help each other and everyone else. But until next time, hopefully tomorrow the announcement comes. Well, it's been a great stream. And we'll see you all again tomorrow at 9:30. I'm not sure what's coming out yet, but I'll get the brain working and we'll sort something out. See you all tomorrow. And come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Conte in.